Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. It is I, Jesse Milestone, coming to you on this Friday with both good news and bad news.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
Where people were just walking around, just jizzing force all over the place. He looks like he has been drinking soy from his mother's teat. Wrap yourselves in, guys, because we are gonna get mean!
I got him! Great kid! Don't get cocky!
Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone, and we have an awesome show for you guys tonight. We've got Andy Signore from Popcorn Planet, and YouTube infamy before that. Trailers, movie fights, the list goes on. Andy, what is up?
So happy to be here again, Jesse. Thanks for having me back.
Andy's like Jesus. He got canceled and uncanceled. So
woo, uncancelable, baby.
It's way more impressive than not ever getting than being impervious to cancellation. I think is to actually be successfully canceled.
Fun. I wouldn't recommend it, but hey, I got through it, so didn't kill myself. Yeah,
you are a survivor. You're gonna make it. And down on the far side, we've got the Bassman. The Bassman. Cody is here in the house. What's up, Cody?
What are you still doing here? It's over. Go home. What's
Good
going on,
morning,
guys?
Good morning. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the We're Live.
That's it. We're ready to go.
Wow, he's driving somewhere?
Streaming from his car. He's actually on his way down here from Canada right now.
It's just extreme DIY, guys.
We're not
extreme
sure how.
DIY UI, if you know what I mean.
It's like a really soundproof vehicle, though. I mean, I'm getting no road noise whatsoever.
He's driving shotgun.
Well, I paid a lot more for this thing than you would for a regular car,
Andy, I should fire you for that. That was terrible. You were fired.
I'm like the guy from Home Improvement. Remember him? Wilson?
I try not to.
Remember the guy behind the fence?
I never watched a lot of childhood, the sitcoms that everyone's like, I grew up watching it. I was like, I didn't have a real childhood.
This episode, let me see if I can help you and your children.
Just creeping over the fence every episode.
You watched Home Improvement? I watched This Old House with my dad.
I watched both with my dad, ironically.
Yeah.
In retrospect, I actually like This Old House better. I don't know what that says about me. Do you ever just get the desire to live in the woods and work with lumber? There you go. Andy gets it. Or cookie more.
Cookie.
Oh, cookie. Oh my God. Wait, I have to tell you guys, and then we're actually going to talk about the MCU, but I have to tell you guys the bizarrest YouTube rabbit hole that I maybe have ever gone down, and the way it resolved. So anyway, also welcome chat. Welcome Nicholas Clark. Welcome McCants. Welcome Greg Kirby. Evil Ent. Zach Blackfire. All hail Zach Blackfire. It's great to have you here. As your Night Terror, man, you've been hanging out for a long time. Did anybody else get that fun experience, by the way, of does anyone else have lagging issues? So when you do the intro, the 30-second intro, it'll sort of slow down and speed up? That's just me.
Just you, I think.
Just me. Okay, just my shitty connection. No one else gets the joy of a crappy connection.
Correct. Just you.
Cody is very upset right now.
I mean, it's kind of hypnotic, isn't it?
It is. It's I can't stop doing it. Now I gotta try to match you too.
What's happening?
I don't know, but it's weird. This is.
We have to. How about Mary had a little lamb, so our mouth is synced. Ready?
All right, let's try it. Mary had a little lamb.
Oh my God. Oh, kill it. Throw it into the river. Stop it.
Kill it with fire. Frank Magic says this should be the whole show. That was probably one of the greatest things that's happened on YouTube.
Good bit.
Oh, does anybody remember the Pen Pineapple Apple Pen song? PPAP. Dun, 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 dun. I have a pen. I have an apple. Apple pen. I have a pen. I have pineapple. Pineapple pen. Apple pen. Pineapple pen. Pen pineapple apple pen. Da, 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 da. See, Guillermo Coronado remembers. Guillermo remembers. Macons remembers pen, pineapple, apple, pen. See, like this was a weird YouTube video that admittedly I did not know about this back in the day at all. This was introduced to me very recently. And Jeff was like, oh, I totally remember this.
Can we play old YouTube videos? That's a fun show.
That is always a fun show.
The rabbit hole of videos you can get into doing that.
This is excellent though. So this came up in like in a playlist. Like, I'm trying to think of the music. What's the musical version of a collage? It's a playlist of
It's an ad. Do you guys remember this one?
Oh god, here we go. Oh my god, shoes. We had a
God.
Shoes. Oh my god, shoes.
we had a substitute teacher.
Yes.
Wow, that's
Let's get some shoes. Let's get some shoes.
yeah, I'm taking it away before they take my stream down because they totally will.
That guy Liam ended up being my editor over at Screen Junkies and stuff.
Dude, really?
Real editor, like really good editor.
Dude, that's phenomenal.
Videos, but man, bravo, Liam. That was shoes.
When's that from?
That was. What's the guess?
That was shiz.
No, what year was that? You think?
What year? God, my substitute teacher was playing it for us
years ago.
Jesus, yeah. Because I was gonna say I was 15 years old, and my substitute teacher was playing it for us in 10th grade science class.
Dude, Jesus Christ,
it's crazy, man.
I freaking love it. I loved that one.
I mean, that was yeah. I mean, come on, he was ahead of his time.
Very much so. I mean, that's what the internet is today. So Pen Pineapple Apple Pen guy was one of these such things, and sometimes you ever go into a deep dive about like some one like really random weird video or weird person, and you're like, I wish I hadn't because it sort of ruined the mystery and just sort of took everything away from it.
Was that or was that my house?
So like a deep dive there, just like deep dives there, Jesse, just like looking shit up.
This was the opposite. Because we deep dived this guy, and it turns out this Pen Pineapple guy is just this persona he's done for years, and that he also made an appearance on Japanese Sesame Street doing Choco Butter Cookie or Cookie Choco Butter Cookie, the Sesame Street version of it.
Okay.
And I'm just like, I don't care what I did with my life. If I ended up on Sesame Street, I think I would have to consider myself a success.
Yeah, pretty much still, yeah. You were hanging out with Elmo and Big Bird and all them fucking Snuffy. That's got to be the big stream. That's got to be big time.
What would
for
be
sure.
the biggest flex that you met on Sesame Street, Jesse?
What the biggest flex I make on Sesame Street?
Is that my house beeping or your house?
No, that's my house beeping.
Oh, okay, good. I was freaking out. Like, who would be the biggest flex? Like, I met blank on Sesame Street.
Oh, dude, fucking Snuffleupagus.
Yeah, if you broke into Sesame Street, like, what would you do if you broke into Sesame Street for an episode?
I would ride Snuffleupagus. I'd be like, I don't care how many human beings you have to stick into this ridiculous elephant suit. I'm going to ride Snuffleupagus before this day is done.
Saddle up, take him out.
Saddle up. Ride.
How much does a Snuffleupagus go for on the open market, really?
I don't know, but they're fueled by pure cocaine, so they get really expensive to keep around.
Yeah, the nose powder. It soothes their nose trunk, I think. That's how they...
That's why he's always snuffly.
Hi, bird.
Andy, who's yours?
Where's the stuffed bird?
Snuffy's a good one. My favorite was always this guy. I can have him back here. Super Grover!
Grover was the shit.
Grover was shit because there's also Frank Oz who did Yoda.
I mean,
Super Grover was always my favorite version of him. So Grover would be my flex.
Grover's a good flex. Super Grover, especially if you met him as Super Grover, you'd be like, oh my God, I was just doing this bit with Big Bird and fucking Super Grover flew in to save the day.
He's the Batman to Elmo's Superman almost, you know? Like, he's just the number 2 guy. I like him better, actually.
I would feel really personally uncomfortable meeting Elmo. I'd feel like that was just like a weird accusation waiting to happen, you know?
Yeah. Like, why do you want me to tickle you again? Like, what's going on here?
Exactly. Like, I don't want to touch you, Elmo. I don't.
No, I don't want to do it.
How about you? How about you, Cody? Who's your Sesame Street flex?
I like the Count.
Come on. Ooh.
He's a killer, man. He's just a pimp. He's a vampire. Nobody knows it. He's keeping it on the low. Like, how many people's he killed? You don't know. You don't know.
You know, in his song, though, right? He talks about when I'm alone, I count myself. That visual image of him just sitting in his house going, 1.
How many bodies? You know, how many people? That's in his med.
One. That's what he means. When I'm alone, I count myself.
Dude, he's like a daywalker. He's been out in the sun. I think he's Blade.
Maybe.
I've seen him in sun. They've shown him in skits where he's out in the daylight.
Like, he's been on the beach, too. There was a whole thing where he's counting shit on the beach. I remember that.
You're like, wait a second. That doesn't make sense.
Or Sesame Street based in the Bram Stoker's Dracula universe. And he's just walking out. Yeah. Who knows what he's doing in the background? Just like turning into werewolves and having sex with chicks. Like, who knows what the Count's doing? You know, that's an interesting character.
Just off the Sesame Street screen. This is the Sesame alleyway. Like, that's what's up. Sesame Alley. You got the Count like sucking people's blood dry. You've got Oscar doing God knows what in the trash can. Snuffy's doing his lines. Like, shit gets real in the Sesame Alley.
Yeah.
They did a Grouch Saturday Night Live skit that was like Joker, but Oscar the Grouch with David Harbour. It was really fucking funny.
I feel that. That feels real to me.
Real. Had made an Oscar the Grouch movie instead. It's look it up sometime, guys. It's funny.
And then Barkley just toodles down the alley and pisses on Oscar.
Furry Dog was like a hooker. Yeah, it was all pretty.
Yeah.
That sounds legit. That tracks. Dude, did you guys know Big Bird, apparently, like the guy in the Big Bird suit, originally in the suit as Big Bird, they were trying to get him as the, regular person accompaniment on the Challenger instead of the teacher. And they realized that he was not going to fit in the Big Bird suit, thus saving Big Bird from becoming Big Barbecue.
Yeah, because it's like, it's the guy who plays Big Bird. Haha. You'd be like, oh, fuck. Who cares?
Yeah, like, no, that's not cool. No one.
Like, they're putting the bird in the suit. They're putting him in the fucking space shuttle. Yeah.
Exactly. It said barbecue. Barbecue Big Bird. Was that?
That would have been depressing if Big Bird had died there. Yeah.
Right? It's like, teacher. God, that was sad enough. People are still not over that, Like, that was... What?
That's how Barney died.
Barney died in the what?
Tail caught fire.
Barney's tail. Wait, that happened?
Yeah, that's what I had.
Barney died in a space shuttle accident.
That's delightful.
Fire and the guy got stuck in it.
I can live with that. I can live with that. So, who did I text? I just got a text back from a number that I don't have saved that said, "Hey, thanks for texting me." And I'm like, now I have to open it and see who it was. Okay. It's actually the person I meant to text. That's good. It's always weird when you're like, "Hey, thanks for texting me." I'm like, I don't even remember who you are. What is happening? I just didn't get around to this. Anyway, sorry, thinking out loud. I should do less of that because my brain's a scary place. Y'all don't want to hang out there. To get a super chat. Oh, super chat. Thank you so much. And please, guys, don't forget to press the like button. That's a thing we do on this channel. We believe in the oppression of, I don't know, small nations, large nations, people we don't like, women, especially women. No, I'm not going to say that's unfair. Andy does not believe in the oppression of women, to my knowledge. Cody does not believe in the oppression of women, to my knowledge. I, Jesse Milestone, acting as a representative of the mindless mob, believe in the oppression of women. Just like to make that perfectly clear. Don't speak for you guys. You guys can speak for yourself. So let's see. Do. Super chat. Let's find you. If only my computer worked. Not like a ridiculously old computer that is logically on its last legs, but like a regular computer. Wow, glitching. Okay, thank you, Greg Kirby. He says, what I remember about Sesame Street is the scene when they play music and the ball goes all over the place when the music is going. I don't remember that at all. Does anybody else remember that about Sesame Street?
Mm-mm.
They play music and there's just a ball going all over the place. That is the information that we have. Corroborate in the chat if you recall this piece of Sesame Street. Speaking
Honestly,
of
I was more of a Muppets guy. I'm not gonna lie, more of a Muppets guy.
I mean, you get your Frank Oz fix over there too. Oh,
Well, it's-
Cecile is the ball's name, according to WWE Motors, who probably knows things. LeConte remembers. This is very important. I'm just like, I'm here right now. We have to stop everything to take a tally of who remembers this from Sesame Street, old school Sesame Street, apparently. Have you guys seen the video, though, where all they do is just bleep the count? They do the Count's intro song, and they just bleep him every time he says the word count?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Because then you guys should go watch it later. I would share it with you, but my computer's so glitchy that would probably take 3 years. And everyone would have left by that time. But it's excellent, and you should watch it because it sounds like he's just go watch the Count censored. What it sounds like is that he's just fucking everything in his house. That's what it sounds like. He fucks the candles on the wall. He fucks the cobweb on the wall. He fucks the candles on the shelf. And when he's alone, he fucks himself. It's.
I remember, speaking of weird things like that, it's like I don't know why I went there, but fucking things on the shelf reminded me. How weird would it be to be the toilet in Beast's castle?
Yeah, like, are you alive? Like, do you have to experience that? That's uncomfortable. Like, who became the toilet?
And then you get humanized afterwards, like like the beast, like imagine because the beast, I imagine, really dumps it. You know what I'm saying? So there's got to be like, thank you, sir. Any more refuge for me? Oh.
Well, you know what really sucks balls though is that these guys all they all kind of became something reminiscent of their previous, human forms. So you're talking about the guy who was already the janitor, like already the guy who had to clean out the shit from the toilet, who then just and just got his mouth shat in.
Oh, thank you, Beast.
That's gonna be my my fractured fairy tale sequel to Beauty and the Beast. It's just a fucking horror movie where the Beast's toilet has come back to life. He's a person again, and he just has sworn revenge and murders everyone who took a shit in the castle in the most horrific way.
Like, how weird just to be Belle's toilet. It's like just in that quarters. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing's weird.
Yeah. She's just like, oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Oh, he's just like, stop. Oh, it's just a plumber. My ass crack's supposed to hang out, and that's all that's supposed to happen in my life.
Do you
have a big crush on you, Belle? Not anymore.
Do you eventually get Stockholm syndrome from that, and it becomes a weird kink thing where you're into it? I don't know.
I mean, I would think so. That's all you need. Eventually, you get a boner, right?
Yeah, it's like Belle.
In real life, though, as a woman, you cannot go to the bathroom on in the middle of a live stream without somebody in the chat making some comment about oh, I'll bet you shit really loud. Is that a thing? Is people
weird?
Really?
Yeah. I've never tried. I don't think I've ever gone to the bathroom during a live stream. Or I just say I gotta go pee, I just say that so I don't know I have to take a dump.
Dude, Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers legitimately peed in a bottle during the first High Council because he was so nervous to walk away from his computer for 5
Champ,
minutes.
that's commitment. That's commitment.
What's that?
What if the camera had fallen and his dick was out while he was pissing in a bottle?
I assume he was off camera. I think he turned off the camera and muted the mic, but I'm like, dude, you couldn't have missed 5 seconds. Bring it up cue it up on your phone and get your headphones ready while you scurry to the oh my god, they're not gonna think you're clever if you missed the last punchline. Oh no.
See, I'd go and do something like that, and I wouldn't mute the mic. I'd be like, oh fuck, I had to go so bad, and you just hear the most Niagara Falls in the background. Yeah.
Apparently that's Proper's trick. No, Shepancake is not scared by any of the sounds. Shepancake actually tries to get in the way of the stream sometimes when guys are using the toilet around him. Isn't that true? This is Shepancake, everybody. He's the most famous of all the cats. So, say hello, everybody. He came without even an appearance fee being paid, so you should feel really special. He's our actual real life toddler. He's. And people say oh no, you don't know what children are like. I'm like, is it like being woken up from 3 to 6 every single morning by a small creature that desperately wants your attention and needs to be fed or loved or something, and you don't know what because it can't articulate it at you?
Morning.
What?
Do you feed your cat in the morning?
I feed my cat. Well, normally I try to feed my cat in the morning, in the middle of the day, and at night. But he also decides to throw tantrums during any odd time in between when he hasn't been fed. And demand
in the morning, guys. That's the trick. Feed them at night.
Oh no, my cats get 3 square a day, and if they don't, hell breaks loose.
2 square. You do the evening and then a mid-time something. If you feed them in the morning, they wake you up every morning. I learned that trick. Never again.
No. See, the thing is with these guys, They became morning eaters because it got worse. So when they weren't on a morning schedule, it was like, oh, okay, whatever time of the night, and all of them at any time of the night. Another one was way worse about the middle of the night stuff. Now it's just the one. The other three are like, we're on a regular schedule. We're normal. We're cats. We just act like cats. Shit Pancake is like, oh, you're in the middle of a live stream. Let me go break every glass in your kitchen because I would really like you to pat my belly right now this second. And I'm going to actually throw a tantrum if you don't. Yeah.
Trouble.
It's trouble. It's fun. It's great. It's like cool. He really does feel like my child. I nursed, like I actually bottle fed him, So that's why. He thinks that's why he thinks he's a person and tries to like use his paws to open jars, even though he doesn't have opposable thumbs.
My cat eats me all the time and won't stop, like viciously attacks, like eats. She's 2. No, she's 1. It doesn't. I'm just hoping it ends. But my God, she's kind of a bitch that way.
See, I trained all of mine like dogs when they were little. I was like, you will not bite or scratch. I will bite your ears. I will hold you down. I will do the finger in the mouth, all that stuff. And they all learned, oh, we don't bite or scratch. The first one took to it really, really well because he's an idiot, but he's a big husky idiot who is the alpha by dumb luck and taught all the others, we don't bite or scratch. And I'm like, great, thank you, Han. You did one thing right in your entire life, and I'm grateful. Let's push. He's our special boy.
Russell, they should all be destroyed.
Russell, thank you for the super chat, and thank you for joining us, even though Anna's nowhere to be found. What I remember about Sesame Street is a homeless drug addict digging through the garbage and swift cutaways from imminent gay sex and a giant bird. Yeah, that's what Sesame Street was in actual factualness. Hence why we're going to have, I suppose in Sesame Alley, in my dark version, I guess Bert and Ernie have to have AIDS.
Sounds about right.
AIDS was the line for Andy. Andy's like, I don't like where this is going anymore.
Wait, wasn't Forrest Gump's kid watching Sesame Street when he came in and Jenny told him was it AIDS she had or was it HIV?
HIV, I believe.
Or am I going off into some crazy ass stoner rant here? I think that's what happened. Yeah.
There you go.
There's some connection to that.
There's something to it. I'm not just being incredibly homophobic right now.
Everyone has AIDS.
AIDS. Everyone. Dude, the last time. Don't get me started. The last time somebody did, I think I sang a snippet from every song in that movie and sang Everyone Has AIDS in its entirety. So, that's what happens.
I can do that to Uncle Fucker.
I don't know that one by heart yet, but it is it's a great one to know. And I'm very impressed because it's way more difficult than Everyone Has AIDS. Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker.
You're a cocksucking Uncle Fucker.
All right, so Uncle Fucking aside.
Bitch, I'll kill you. That's my other one I know. It's a good one. Anyway, sorry.
No, there's a great song called Die Motherfucker Die. Not the one everyone thinks of as like some actual metal song called Die Motherfucker. Like it's a sweet little song by a band called Get Set Go. It's very sweet. It's a sweet song. And their songs are great because the song Die Mother, it's not what you'd expect. My favorite verse goes, Die Motherfucker Die, I'll burn out both your eyes and fill the sockets full of lie. I'll carve out your skull and I'll turn it to a bowl that I'll eat my cereal with while I watch the Flintstones, and I'll do it with a smile. And the riff is very reminiscent of that, like, kiss me out on the green grass.
Sixpence, yeah.
So it's like an easy listening, soft rock, sweet sounding song about just being over life and wanting everyone to die. It's like the most relatable song ever. Dude, the bridge, I don't want to work. I don't want to pay bills. I don't want to grow old. I don't want to be poor. I don't want to drive in traffic. I don't want to deal with dating. I don't want to stand in line. I don't want to pay any taxes. It's like the most relatable song ever written. It's all. It's called Die Motherfucker Die by Get Set Go. Go listen to it. I am not sponsored by them in any way, but I do play that song on my live stream. So go check me out on Live It, which I'm not sponsored by, but am contracted by. So that's like better than sponsored by. And while we're plugging everybody, go sub to Andy, Popcorn Planet, and go sub to Cody, The Bassman. They're both their channels are both linked below, and we'll get links going down in here too. So any other take heed, guys, repost all these links forever and ever and ever. Andy is just are you like experimenting with angles or vibing to the music in your head? Either way, I'm on board.
I just need to move tonight because I streamed for 3 hours sitting, and I needed to move my muscles, or I was going to just become like the guys in Wall-E that just ride around the chairs all the time.
Dude, I feel that. Well, I'll pull out the guitar and we'll just turn it into a dance party. So, Cody, you mentioned you have not gotten down with the MCU shows. Why have you elected to avoid that journey, that path, that soiree, if you will?
It's done. It's over. They like I said to you guys earlier, like when Cap's sitting on the bench and they're coming up, like, here's your shield, motherfucker. We going? Let's go. And he's like, I don't think I will. And honestly, I'm sitting there right on the bench with Cap, being like, nah, I don't think I will. And really, like, Cap and I are going fishing. Like, you guys take off. I'm done with this shit. It's done, man. Like, that's it. It's all over for me. There's no reason to continue this story. It's just milking it from here on out. Honestly, a shame though is they put Black Widow where it is now, and not where Captain Marvel was when that came out. I mean, introducing that character now would have been good. That's new. That's fresh. That's the future of everything. Black Widows. There's no stock in that character now. Like, what's going to happen to her?
She's not going to die. No, exactly. I'm with you. Hey, one in the chat, guys. If you're with Cody, I know that he's definitely not alone in the sentiment. Jeff felt very much that way after Endgame. A lot of people did. I myself, as much as I'm, interested in following certain through lines, I myself have been I've had trouble garnering the same level of interest even in the properties I'm interested in. So drop a 1 in the chat, guys, if you're with Cody. If you're like, Endgame was the Endgame. It happened. It was over. It was a great journey. We're done. I'm not invested anymore. I'm over it.
Phenomenal. Like one of the most that's like a crowning achievement of Disney in general, like aside from stuff they did in the 50s and stuff. Like this series of movies was incredible. Like it completely changed superhero movies forever. And honestly, everybody watched these damn things for the longest time, and I think now, as I am, a lot of people are dropping off because, like I said, it's done. You're gonna milk it from here. You're gonna ruin. You're gonna screw shit up. I know they're gonna screw shit up. I've already heard things, so I guess I'll just parry off to you guys because I think they're done some things that are going to change stuff forever. So
we just got a tank tread. Oh no, am I frozen? Shit, hold on. Keep talking. I'm glitching.
We're still
no. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I'm trying to fix my connection here. Just sorry. I'm like glitching out.
Streamlabs is she just can go, and then we're stuck here.
Let's give me 1 second. All right. Are we glitched? Are we a little bit better now?
Gotta work the voodoo magic there.
To try to work.
Some Doctor Strange shit will fix you.
Seem to be working ish. I know.
Oh, it's coming back.
Ours works. You're
coming back strong. There you go.
I know you.
Oh, God.
You left and right because I'm probably hearing you 5 seconds after you said it.
What?
Jesse's not feeling so good.
Here's my thoughts on. But I think that
you make a really convincing robot, Andy.
It's like I always think of Wayne's World when they're doing the drive-in. But I was gonna say, yeah, look, this Black Widow, who cares?
Yeah.
Why are you giving me a chapter of a story we already read? I don't care.
Yep, I'm with you guys. 100%.
Because of the pandemic, everything else. I'm like, let's move on already.
Yeah.
Now, Spider-Man 3, Doctor Strange 2. All right, I'm intrigued. Bring those on like right away. Eternals. I don't know. Shang-Chi. Guardian 3, maybe. Thor 4, maybe.
Yeah, it's
starting to get a little like. I like Loki so far.
So here's the thing with Loki though, which bothers me with the MCU formula in general. Though I don't know if anyone caught that while I was glitching out earlier. We had a tank tread of ones come in when I asked that question. So it sounds like a lot of people are feeling that fatigue. I mean, even Andy, you know, like that's kind of where I'm at. There are properties that I'm more interested and more intrigued by than others. And there's some where I'm like, you don't have me in the world anymore. You definitely don't have me, you know, completely bought in hook, line, and sinker. Like I'm going to go see everything, even Captain Marvel, even though I know I'm going to hate it, you know? So, which did not go in anticipating hate. Well, anticipating maybe, did not go in looking to hate it, went in being thoroughly unimpressed by it. But that's neither here nor there. My thing, Andy, though, with Loki, which has the same problem that I had with Captain America and the same problem I had with WandaVision, which is there's this pacing thing they're doing because they have the luxury of shooting the whole show at once, knowing it's going to be released no matter what, not having to go through pilot season and getting the ratings and impressing a network and all that. They just get to go and run with it. So they wrote a show. You know, they've written their shows with that type of pacing. You know, we can take our sweet ass time unveiling the story for you, the audience, because we know we have these 12 hours or however many hours we elect to do it. And the problem comes with that, the fact that they're dropping it episodically, though. So you can't binge it all at once. So you get an hour's worth of exposition, and then you wait a week. And then you get another hour's worth of exposition and a little tiny bit of action. And then you wait a week, and you wait till halfway through the season before the scale is finally tipped from the exposition to the action. And then you have some nonstop action, some bullshit wokeness, a happy little conclusion. And then you're left suddenly going, wait a second, it was just getting good. Where the fuck are we now? Is anyone else having that reaction or that experience going through the Marvel shows, or is that my alone in that?
I mean, that's just television. That's how it always was. I think we've just gotten spoiled because of Netflix and the binging of things.
I disagree, though. We were talking about this on one of my other shows. Pilots used to have to, by the very nature of what they were, they had to hook you. They had to get you, otherwise they didn't get us.
Always suck. I can tell you countless pilots where the show sucked, where the pilot sucked, but the show was better. Pilots are hard to write. But I'm like, look at Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad. I mean, half the good shows that I used to watch week to week, even Walking Dead in its prime. Yeah, we had to wait a week. Like that's just sort of the way it was. And there was something about the talking about it for a week and building up and sitting with it and then seeing another chapter. There is something about the scheduled, viewing that I appreciate now. But you're right. Like WandaVision to me was an example where like it didn't work. Like WandaVision was all tease, hiding mystery to the gimmick, and it was frustrating me. I don't think WandaVision was a good binge show. It was a good week-to-week show. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier was better. Like it was an hour long, and like the characters we knew, they were telling us about the post blip. I agree. By the ending, it got a little bit frustrating and preachy, but I still enjoyed it overall. Sort of, it was okay. Loki's first episode is what I've seen the first two. Loki's first episode is definitely exposition because they're like, fuck, we're jumping you deep end in this new time travel universe. So get ready. So it didn't bother me because it was telling me a bunch of new shit and setting the tone. Episode 2 goes on a more of a mission and they sort of get it all the way out. So episode 2 is where things get a little bit more like, okay, this is what the show is. But episode 3 is more of the reveal of, is this going to work? Yeah. So I'm still on the fence on Loki. I loved Owen Wilson. I loved Tom Hiddleston. I think together they were fun. Yeah, and I liked sort of the rapport they got because I thought bringing Loki back and eliminated the stakes of the MCU. And I'm like, he's dead. Why the fuck are we doing this? But the show does justify it in a weird way. We're like, okay, you really did jump through a lot of hoops to justify why you brought this guy back. And I'm hoping that they've explained again why it's not going to happen again. But we'll see. Overall, I mean, like we're complaining. Marvel's is pretty fun. The fact that we can't just sit back and enjoy Marvel, that we have to like nitpick and be cynical about everything they're doing, it's kind of sucks. Like I do think Feige's done a pretty impressive job building this whole thing, and I'm still excited by it at times. Like I'm not going to be a total hater and just hate on everything they do. But I agree. Endgame was a pretty high point where it's like, how are you gonna? There's not as much excitement for me, but I still enjoy it.
I think the exhaustion is kind of starting to step in a little bit. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's just the quality is still there. Like, don't get me wrong, these still are amazing productions. They're still phenomenal looking films. Like, don't get me wrong, like that hasn't changed. The people making them are still just as good. But where they are in the storyline, it's kind of like you got to really switch things around now, or else you're going to run into fatigue because people are like, okay, well, Tony's dead. All right. The Cap's done. Like, this is it. Like, what do you got for me now? Black Widow's dead. Okay. This new movie. What? Okay. Like, what do you got? Right?
I think that's something that the Marvel is definitely struggling with in their TV shows too, is creating stakes that matter. WandaVision is completely contained to the interpersonal relationship of Wanda and Vision, and then whatever characters populate that little bubble, the literal bubble. Captain and Winter Falcon, or Winter Falcon and the.
We know what you meant.
The show, the last Blacked in America and Sebastian Stan, is so predicated. Blacked in America, yeah.
Did you coin that one or what?
I should copyright that shit.
Trademark.
I need Jeff in the room though in order to get away with saying it. So
yeah, he's right over here somewhere. He's just right here.
Yeah, totally. That's the secret, guys. I don't love Jeff. I just dated a race shield. That's obviously clearly, that's why we make it on camera all the time.
He's not black. What are you talking about? He's not.
Jeff's not black.
No, come on. He's not dark skinned enough. That's the new rage today.
Right? I love that's the greatest. It's like, wait, wasn't that actually racist to say like 2 decades ago? Like legitimately like hardcore racist to say that like a couple decades ago. Also, like when I was growing up, it was hardcore sexist to put women on pedestals and act like they're completely delicate flowers that never undergo hardship. That used to be considered really sexist, but I don't know, worlds we live in. The other issue I have with Marvel is this absolute morality they want to keep dictating, right? Because my whole thing with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'm going through the show and I'm like, how I feel about the show hinges on how they judge Carly. Because we're told very clearly that Kurt Russell's less attractive offspring is a bad guy. He's the evil white man, of course, and we know he's gone too far. But like, they're trying to give him nuance by giving him the black best friend. So even though he's an evil white man, I guess he's not racist, and all this stuff. But then they've got Carly, who indiscriminately murders people that for all intents and purposes have done nothing wrong. And she gets like judged as the hero who lost her way. And I'm like, okay.
She was awful. Apparently they rewrote a lot of the show because it was a pandemic or something. I think that's the reason why, but she was awful. She was awful.
She cannot hold she does not have the gravitas for these roles they keep using her for. I think they just love her face because she has that perfect, weird, exotic face that's super in Hollywood now. And so they love making her the anti-hero because she's edgy enough that she's not the good guy, but she's like still exotic and pure and virtuous enough that she's like she's basically the Antifa character. And she glorifies that, she glorifies the concept that it is okay to go to extreme measures and commit acts of violence in the name of what is good and just. And they don't even finish that show by convincing me that their quest is the just one. I mean, just as many points as are made about, these people who now lost everything when the blip was reversed, just as many points were made about the people who are still entitled to the shit they had before the blip, So it leaves in this really uncomfortable place where it's dictating the morality, but it's not doing it in an even-handed manner. So now we get to Loki, and I feel like a little bit of the same thing is happening. Where...
But wait, hold on. But come on, Sebastian Stan, and I would even argue Falcon, did have way better plot points and arcs in that show. I agree the Carly stuff sucked, but didn't you like Sebastian Stan?
Yes, I actually thought overall, I don't think I have a single complaint about Sebastian Stan, except for the random line where he randomly out of fucking nowhere goes, "I'm so sorry, me and Steve should have realized what it meant to give the shield to a black man."
He should have been Captain America, man. It's a fucking crime that he wasn't given the shield at the end of Endgame. I mean, being Bucky's best friend, like, honestly, that just would have been it for me. I would have loved that, put on the costume, the whole 9 yards.
Wouldn't have made sense. It wouldn't have made sense.
No, here's what I could have dealt with though, is if Steve tries to give him the shield and he doesn't want it, right? So Anthony Mackie takes it up. So Falcon takes it up, because he's the next, he's the one they maybe put it on, that they're like, oh, we want you to do it. The government like puts it on him and he, doesn't want it or can't handle it or whatever, all this shit, would rather have his own identity. And then by the end of the show, gives it to Bucky. It's like, okay, and Bucky's finally ready. He works through his demons and he's ready to take on the shield. That I would have been fine with, actually.
Even better, yeah. That sounds good.
Because doesn't that track sort of doesn't that happen? I don't know too much, but doesn't that happen in the comics somewhere too, where it's like someone else's Cap sort of in an interim capacity while Bucky sort of gets his shit together? I mean, don't quote me on this. I don't, I'm not the expert.
I mean, Sam gets the shield in the comics too.
Yeah, so I'm fine with them having it at a point, but I do think that that it was a little. They could have kept the Captain America identity a little more personal between Bucky and Falcon, and not brought all the racially charged elements into it as well. I always think you do a disservice by making your message too overtly racially charged, because you cut other people who need that message just as much off from it by grounding it really specifically with one race. When you figure out how to allegorize your message, so you're getting all the same themes in there, but you're not locking it directly into identity, you open the door for anybody of an identity, or anybody at all. They don't have to have a specific identity that feels disenfranchised. Any person who feels disenfranchised, who has a complicated relationship with their identity, with who they are, with the expectations of what they're going to do with their lives, can now relate to that story. So I always get frustrated when you ground it in such a specific conversation, because you alienate part of your audience that needs the story just as badly.
I think they've done a disservice, like I said, kind of the way they've handled everything so far. Like, I think Falcon didn't really need the shield and didn't need to be that Captain America. His gimmick with just being the Falcon alone is, good enough for me. Like, just flying around, being able to shoot. Like, you put it on Bucky. He's the guy. He has the gun. He's got the superpowers too. He's basically up to the same level as Cap. It was. You watch Winter Soldier. Those guys are like right there. So to give him the shield, it would kind of make sense, because you can continue that Captain America story. Even make a couple more Cap movies potentially if they want to milk that. Having that character take the role, because it's basically the same power. So get away with it.
Yeah. I also thought too, there was by making him Captain America in the end, you undercut what I thought actually was a really powerful moment from earlier in the show, where the kid goes, "Oh, it's Black Falcon," and he's like, "It's just the Falcon," and like that was a really nice moment, and it goes into an argument I've heard before, which is like, I mean, this is what Michael B. Jordan said when Oprah asked him, "Do you want to play Superman?" And he said, "No, I want to play my own character. I want to, I don't want to be the race swapped Superman. I want to be my own character. I want to have my own identity." I think just in general, across the board, we need new characters. We need new ideas. We need that. And especially in the name of progressivism, you want real progressivism. It's not fucking trying to basically you would make all these claims of whitewashing history. Color washing history doesn't, and race swapping anything on the other side. You're not fixing the problem. You're just creating the problem in the opposite direction. Create the characters. Don't shit on every white character. Create the white characters in the image, that are fucking decent, create superheroes that look different, that are their own fucking superheroes, whose identity can be part of their backstory and their character, and actually make sense, and not just be like, "Oh, look, we race swapped this character. Hooray for us." I know, I'm sorry, nitpicking and whatnot. I'm bitching about things that everyone bitches about, which I don't always do anymore, but these things.
I mean, look, there were some issues with the show, but I still think Sebastian Stan saved it for me. Zemo was really good. It was well directed. And then moving on to Loki, it's hard to judge yet. It's still one episode, but I have to give it props for committing to a show that's like, you know what, fuck all your expectations. We're going to this new office that's like time travel in between timelines, and yeah, it's more powerful than Infinity Stones. Fuck you. Like, I was like, all right, cool. They're just like, fuck it, we're just gonna go really lean into this hard. And I think Owen Wilson's play, I guess we can talk episode 1 since you guys haven't. Episode 2 is tonight, so if you're behind, what the hell did you wait for? But I loved Owen Wilson with like Loki getting to catch up on what the Loki from that timeline did, and sort of it. And then Owen Wilson, like, you're not really a bad guy. Like, what's your point? It was a very clever way to sort of unite them. And I think you'll see more of the back and forth of Owen, like who's really in charge, whose goals what. Like, they're playing each other, but they're sort of need to support each other. The dynamic between Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston really works for me, and it gets even better in part 2. And I'm like, and then there's going to be a sort of like a what at the end of this episode that people are like, I got to see next week. And that's once we see how they handle the third week, it'll be very intriguing to see if the show going to work. But I think we got to get at least midway through before we can really get a gauge. I think Loki is probably my favorite one so far, but they still have a lot to prove, so it could blow up in itself.
They definitely prioritize finding writers that write good character relationships, good interplay. I mean, I'll still maintain that Infinity War is one of the greatest triumphs of an ensemble cast ever put on screen. Just with the amount of tonal shifts they were able to balance, flipping from character to character to character, and integrate all those really effectively without losing anybody's merit. I mean, it's mind-blowingly impressive. Joss Whedon, I thought, did a masterful job with the first Avengers movie in that same front. And I really appreciate your perspective, Andy, on being able to take the good and the bad. There's so much absolutism on like, well, you've got to add it all up and decide what the value of the good was and what the value of the bad was. And if the good outweighs the bad, then you love the show and it's amazing. And if the bad outweighs the good, then you hate it and it's terrible forever. And it's like, no, you can.
I think there's too many people who don't do that. They get so hung up on some of the bad things or what they're told are the bad things. And then they write off and we just go, this show's fucking blah, blah, blah. I mean, it just happened right now. We said a whole stream about the guy, and no disrespect to them, but all those guys who were shitting on Indy 5. And then the director came out and shat on them back. It's like, look, I think both people were idiots in that scenario. And I said it to his face. It's just like, yeah, the director was rude and was punching down, but then also you were shitting on the movie and you're being negative about a movie you haven't fucking seen.
Exactly.
You don't know what you're fucking talking about. So yeah, he's allowed to be upset at you. So it's like, you know, we're all just sort of like scratching at like attention and anger and negativity. And I just want to like movies again.
I do. I'm with you. I had a delightful.
All day long. We could sit here and nitpick and talk about this and that's the problem. But at the end of the day, like that's why I was trying to get it. Like they're pretty fucking impressive what he's pulling off, and there's still some really fun shit in there. So
here's the one place where I'm you know, as a fan, as just a pure fan, still on the fence about how much I care. Care or not. And that's like undeniably things have been introduced in these shows that change that alter the landscape, that like break the lore, if you will. And so there's part of me that can just sit back and enjoy it in a vacuum. That when I sit down and I put on Loki, I watch it, you know, I watched the show and I enjoyed the moments I enjoyed, and I rolled my eyes at a couple places, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. I went through the journey, enjoyed it. And then there were other, and then after, when I thought about it, there were issues I had. Just, you know, again, as a fan, not someone looking to love or hate something one way or the other, but like, all right, you're selling me pretty hard on this predetermined predestination thing with these creatures, these timekeepers who are all powerful beings, and now you've introduced the question of evil, because if these beings are all powerful and all knowing, which we are introduced in episode 1 that they are, we are also introduced to the fact that they are not all loving because they've allowed for suffering to happen. So they therefore have to be bad guys. Because if a supreme being is all powerful, all knowing,
my office, sorry.
It's all good. So I'm just curious because it's one of those things too, where it's like you set up a syllogism like you did in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Okay, well, if Carly has done these things, even though she stands for X, Y, and Z, she has to be judged as a bad guy, and then she's not. And so it's like, okay, that compromises the overall message you're trying to get at here. I'm struggling already to buy into Loki beyond just an enjoyable exercise to kill, which is like, it's all it has to be. It doesn't have to be anything bigger or deeper than that. I find frustration though, where it's like, I get frustrated when movies or shows try to reach higher. It's like, don't sell it to me if you can't pull it off, right? Don't sell me a big fancy world that exists within the MCU of predestination and these massively powerful beings and, you know, infinity stones that mean fucking nothing, if you're not going to, one, justify why this exists, and two, actually fully explore and pay it off. I mean, you have incredible things here. You get the cityscape looking out the window of this time universe that's just mind-blowing amazing. You get visuals in these TV shows that rival anything they put on the big screen. I just wonder, like, there's a two-way street. I think Andy makes a lot of great points about people looking to hate things or looking to nitpick. But I think the other side of that coin is people so willing to accept something that they're told is good, or willing to accept things like, oh, well, it looks pretty and it's cost a lot of money, so I guess I'm supposed to like it. And sometimes for me, I'm like, I don't know, like, am I asking too much, or I really still, circling back around, I really still do have a pacing problem with the way they do their shows. I don't agree that I'm fine with dropping them week after. I like the episodic nature. I like making us wait a week in between. I'm fine with that entirely, but you got to give us more in episode 1. Andy mentioned Game of Thrones is like the thing that teaches us to wait in between. I had issues with that show from episode 1. Because of that, because it's based on a book that is meaty and full of action and full of material, and you have a finite number of episodes and a finite number of hours in a season to bring that to life, and you wasted so much fucking time on your little set pieces and visuals so you could give it a 10-minute talking scenes that did nothing for the plot when you could have put in so much more in that period. I was incredibly frustrated with the writing and pacing of Game of Thrones. I don't think it deserves the number. I think actually Game of Thrones was was the beginning of us becoming incredibly complacent with poor television writing. You got good acting, you got good action, you got good sex scenes, you got great visuals. Great. That's all we need for television now. Fuck pacing, fuck timing, fuck expecting more than a soap opera where you wait 4 episodes for the guy to walk down the hallway.
I mean, I don't disagree. There were moments of Game of Thrones, especially the finale. My God, but there were also moments of brilliance on that show. So, and I think that goes with most TV shows. It's so rare for a perfect show, especially one that runs many seasons. But Walking Dead, another perfect example. There were episodes of Walking Dead in the beginning that were fucking great. Like there were a few in that handful of first few seasons where Walking Dead was legitimately a popular show for a reason because it was cool and it was building up. And then they did exactly what you're saying, which was literally season 2 is all of them stuck on a farm where they was just oh my God. And I know it's based on a comic and everything else, but AMC was getting so greedy. They were just stretching it out to build it along. And then eventually people just started checking out. It's like AMC thought this was going to be their biggest show forever, but everything eventually, falls apart. So you're right. I mean, the pacing can totally destroy a show, but it's just common. Dexter is another one. I love Dexter up until season 3. I think it's 3 or 4 with John Lithgow. And then the show completely loses itself.
But that's my problem is I feel like every MCU show starts with a pacing problem, starts with unnecessary exposition, and then it just convinces you to stick along. It gives you enough in there, sprinkles enough little bits here and there to convince you to ride it out till the end. And when it gets good, I'm
fascinated to watch one of them as a binge instead of a week to week and to see if it's better. You're right, because I've watched them all as week to weeks right now, and there are other shows. I mean, I'm watching The Rookie, actively. I freaking salivate for the next episode of The Rookie because this fucking cop procedural that just happens to star Nathan Fillion is incredibly compelling. I find there are weeks that he's not even the reason I'm watching the show, for the other characters. And then the show even, took a train to Oakland for a hot minute and went, oh shit, better to get out of here, and rode its way back to freedom and then got back on track. And from episode 1, the first episode, comparatively, the pilot for The Rookie, which, just came out a couple of years ago, compared to, say, the pilot for Loki. The pilot for both shows introduce a whole host of characters. They're both, they both have, Rookie has a bigger ensemble cast. Rookie has a core cast of 6 main characters, 6 main leads. Loki so far has 2 with a couple of important side characters. And in the first episode of The Rookie, you know enough about all 6 characters to give a shit about them. So far in Loki, after episode 1, I'm intrigued to know more about Owen Wilson. What's his angle? What's he up to? What's going on here? Loki doesn't count because I've been conditioned to care about him over the past 11 years of MCU. So far, I don't give a shit about, the only reason I care about Gugu Mbatha-Raw is because I happen to enjoy the fact that actress's name is Gugu Mbatha-Raw and want to know if that judge comes back at any point. She's great in The Morning Show, by the way. Awesome show if you haven't watched it. Another one. That's who I saw her. Have you seen the trailer for season 2? Oh, man.
No. Which, by the way, another show, I watched the first episode of it not expecting to like it. Not expecting to like this show at all. By the end of the first episode of The Morning Show, I was like, I need to watch every single episode of this show.
Yeah, that Morning Show was done. I agree, was done on its own. That was a weird case of it. It's guys. That show is fantastic.
Yes, it's just
that show should not be dumped on Apple. If that was on Netflix or HBO, that
would be another. And Apple's not doing bad though. Servant is great. Servant is one. Even I thought season 2 slowed down. I came back week after week. I was thirsty for that. But then you flip over to the Amazon.
Apple's smarter. They're working on quality instead of quantity.
But that's the whole thing. But then Amazon too.
That could work.
Amazon, Mrs. Maisel hooked me from episode 1.
It really jumped the shark, though. I think it was 2. By the end of 2 or at the beginning of 3, I gave up. I couldn't do it anymore.
Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah, I like the. Did you watch Fleabag? I love Fleabag.
I haven't, but I heard it's really, really good.
They're all losing their mind because they brought in what's her name, Phoebe Waller-Bridge for Indy. But I'm like, dude, she's funny. She's really fucking good on that show.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Fleabag is a fucking unbelievable show. It rocked me. It was funny, heartbreaking. I get why everyone's like, she's the next genius. It's like, dude, bravo.
I gotta check it out now. I definitely have to check it out now. But that's something for me. Like all these new shows that have come out, every single time I throw on a pilot and I'm like, let me check out the show. By the end of the pilot, I'm like, I know whether I'm in or out on the show, and I'm pretty hard. Like some of these shows get me hard the fucking by the trailers. You know, I'm on the trailer, I'm like, I'm in for this, and then I watch the pilot, and I'm like, I'm equally in. Not every MCU trailer has hooked me, and not a single pilot of the 3 so far have gotten me salivating the way the Morning Show pilot did, the Boys pilot did, the Servant pilot did. Some of these shows were dropped all at once, binge style. Some of them were dropped episodically. Some were dropped weirdly. Amazon, did some weird shit, like dropped the first 6 episodes of Mrs. Maisel and then the last 2 like a couple months later. So they were all dropped in different ways, but not a single one of them had the issue where they phoned it in on the pilot because they already knew where the show was going. They had already cashed in on the success of the show before it even came out and didn't bother to hook you with the pilot. That's a problem for me.
Yeah, I mean, I argue pilots are really hard, and you are listing some good examples because they do sometimes work, but pilots don't always do it. Like I'm trying to think of shows like have you watched Succession?
No.
Oh, it's probably my favorite show right now. It's 2 seasons in on HBO. With what's his name? Am I drawing a blank? Brian, older actor. Character actor. I fucking love it. It's like basically a Rupert Murdoch's type of family, all jockeying for power.
Nice. I've heard of this one too.
Rory Culkin, Macaulay Culkin's brother's in it, and Brian, what's his name? Brian Cox is the main guy. I fucking love it. But anyway, that was one of those shows where it's like everyone kept telling me. I watched the first episode, and it's good. But then, like, it took me like 2 or 3, and then I was just fucking hooked. I was watching it like a drug. But yeah, sometimes shows, I don't know. I don't always get hooked on the first one. It depends.
I don't either, but
I agree, and I think Loki's done that. WandaVision didn't. And Captain America: Winter Soldier, I thought did have a pretty good, solid pilot. Like the show started strong.
Yeah, actually, I will say that's the best pilot so far.
It started fucking up with Carly, and then the ending, like it did not end well, but it started well.
Actually, I gotta say that's actually it was in some ways the biggest disappointment because that was the one where after the first episode, I went, I think I'm on board with the show immediately. Maybe also a reaction to being a little underwhelmed by WandaVision all across the board. But I
can tell you shit until the final episode, and even then, I'm still like, wait, what?
And I'm like, why? Why did I waste all these weeks on this? Not a good look.
They fuck themselves, and they're like, oh, there's big teases coming. You're never gonna get it. And then you're like waiting and waiting for these big moments to happen that never happened.
I'm still waiting for my Luke Skywalker level cameo.
The show did.
Yeah, so what is the drama around Indy 5? Like, what's going on with that? Like, what's I haven't heard anything about that except they're pissed about something.
Well.
So
no, beyond that, I mean some of the shots from set have leaked, and the people are saying that Indy don't got it no more.
Oh no, is Harrison looking like rough or something?
Well, he's 78 years old.
He looks like an old man.
He looks like a 78-year-old man.
Like he's looking like grandpa at this point. He'll build you a wagon type of deal, or what? Like
on him because they're going to clearly try to DH him a bit. I don't know how much or how far, but
oh no,
of course.
The thing is, you also like the thing that you're not seeing with these stills though, which is why I'm not raising the red flag the way everyone else is because. Movie magic. We've seen this for a million billion years. This is how movies work. You see production stills. They don't look anything like the finished product. Why? Honestly, I guarantee 78 years old. I'm sure Harry's doing as much as he fucking can, but they are they are sticking him on set probably for reference as much as humanly possible and using doubles and CGIing to smooth over the edges like crazy. He's there for photo reference, probably.
They're not going to let them. He's not going to let them use him either. It's Harrison Ford we're talking about.
Exactly.
Get out of here. You want me to work 12 hours? Fuck you, working 12 hours.
Even if it's just photo reference, it doesn't necessarily mean that's a good thing because we're just watching a video game movie. But still, I'm getting frustrated because there were a lot of people calling out the movie. And then the director, James Mangold, who I do like, he did Logan, Ford versus Ferrari, Walk the Line.
Oh, they are good movies, yeah.
He's done some really good movies. So he just, I don't know why he's bickering with the people on Twitter, but he started shooting back on people on Twitter saying like, hey, you haven't seen the fucking movie. Stop complaining in your basement. Leave me alone. And sent everyone off like, fuck you. We're the fans. It matters. Like, guys, just get at least a trailer before we start just torturing the movie. Like,
exactly. It's like
to see yet to say this movie's gonna suck.
I don't like to get a director like somebody at that level just getting involved in that kind of drama. Like that's lower tier, level shit. Like be better than that. You're directing this huge production. For the sake of Harrison Ford, for the sake of production, and honestly, the image of Lucasfilm in general right now, like be better than that, man. Like these guys are always going to do this kind of shit. Everybody's going to bitch about everything. Everybody's got a problem with everything. Why are you going to go in there and start firing off shots at people? Like, what if there is someone in his basement? He's on like down low and he's just doing this to get his rage out or something. Like, of course, it's not right to do that, but like, why do that? Why get involved? Just leave yourself out of it and be better than that.
Kevin Hart actually talked about this in his pandemic special, which I thought was really, it's a really interesting, Andy, I think you would relate to this one a lot. It's like literally Kevin Hart under siege in his house. Essentially, he's like, I am doing this from my house because fuck all you out there. I can say what I want. This is my living room. You can't cancel me in my living room. He makes some really great points. And one of the ones he does is like, it used to be all of the celebrities looked at the normies as like, oh, you guys are so weird, living your weird lives and thinking you're weird things. I mean, weird fans and all this stuff. And everyone, treated celebrities like the shining examples of humanity, which they shouldn't have done because they're fucking not. But the flip of that is now there has been a paradigm shift. And first of all, the first paradigm shift that happened is all sorts of previously unseen people in the industry. And this is something when you talk to people too, working at those levels, they're all saying everybody who has a good job in the industry that is not a high profile one, like owning a production company or being a director, says the same shit. They're equally frustrated with every fucking producer and every fucking director with a Twitter account wanting to be the goddamn star of every news story and making it about their celebrity and their ego rather than actually just doing the work, creating the thing. Yeah. And then you also have this paradigm shift where people have turned on celebrities and decided celebrities are the root of all evil on this earth, etc., and that we're all so much better than them, and they're scum and villainy. You have the right saying everyone in Hollywood is a pedophile, and you on the left, everyone on the left saying everyone in Hollywood is just privileged and evil and needs to, give up everything they have to the matriarchy. So this weird paradigm shift has happened now where all these celebrities who were just getting used to enjoying this mass celebrity status on social media are now being treated like the social pariahs, and they don't like it. So they're getting angry and they're getting whiny and they're throwing temper tantrums on Twitter because they're like, wait, I wanted to be the star of the show. What do you mean you don't like my movie? Bitch, we mean that when you put yourself out there and expose yourself to everybody in the world, they're not all going to be nice to you. Welcome back to high school, asshole. That's what Twitter is. So I think we're all kind of on the same page with this, which is like, fans, get your entitled panties out of a wad, and if you want to be critical, wait for something to be critical of, correct. And like occasionally remember that we like movies because they're fun and we want to enjoy them. And then directors, fucking go direct movies. Stop getting into fights on Twitter. I have made the decision in my life that I am above that. That I, with my 4,000 fucking followers, don't need to start picking fights with every Joe Schmo who wants to clap at me on Twitter because I have more important things to do than that. And I should conduct myself in a way that speaks to the fact that people actually watch me. And some people do, for God knows what reason, consider me an example. I am fucking doing that with my paltry little following here. If I can fucking do that, these big shot directors with their millions of dollars at their disposal can shut the fuck up, get over their egos, and do what they're paid to do, which is make good content. If I had the access to the resources that they had, I wouldn't be wasting my time on Twitter. I would be out there making the best fucking content you have ever seen.
And honestly, his track record speaks for itself. Like the movies he's made, like he doesn't need to say anything. If he says nothing, you know, I'd say, okay, well, this guy, look what he's done, like Ford versus Ferrari, you know, all these other movies, like he's got this. Like if Indy's looking old, if he's looking like crap, like this guy's gonna make this into something good, no matter what. And like that's what I'm saying. Like he didn't have to say that stuff because his track record's, you know, like we respect him as it is. But now, like some people, like, oh, well, maybe not so much, right?
They're a little. I mean, sorry, Andy, go ahead. Let you jump in here.
No, go ahead. I can wait.
I say there are little things too. You know, somebody Ford versus Ferrari. Wow, this guy has worked with Christian Bale, a notoriously difficult actor to work with. And you did not hear about a ton of issues on set. You didn't hear any crazy stories. You didn't hear about any crazy blowups, really. So, by intents and purposes, that that to me is another solid little hallmark. Okay, that's solid. So, and I agree with that. Like, you have a body of work. People who get into stupid fights on Twitter are people who have jack shit to back it up because they actually live in their parents' basement, you know? Not fucking people who can say my work speaks for itself. You know, when you have work that speaks for itself, I don't get into arguments on Twitter with, you know, people explaining to them my opinions on things that I've already bothered to produce a YouTube video on. I'll just send them the link to the video. You know, people will have questions about your quality as a director. Just tell them to go watch your other movies. So I'm
everyone's a critic now to such a degree, and with Twitter and social media, we all think we know better.
Mhm.
And then we have this problem of like things are too woke or not woke enough. And it like both sides of the coin have become annoying to me. Like I don't want to hear people complaining about what's so woke anymore. Like
Right.
you can know when it's really woke and you just don't go see it and just shrug it off. But even there's moments in shows or movies where it's like, okay, I guess that was kind of woke, but so what? Like the rest of the movie wasn't. And we're getting so hung up on these like labels and defining the movie and just negativity, or I'm just like, why don't we like movies? Like I'm confused. Why it's one thing to like be nerds and like speculate and get excited. I get it. We're doing it with Marvel. Sometimes we get it, but I saw these guys just piling on Indy 4 like we know it's not going to be good. It's like, no, you don't. Like you don't know. Don't you want to go the movie like the benefit of the doubt? Like, hello, there's 3 fucking really good movies in this trilogy. It's possible they could do one more good one. Like I hope they do. It'd be nice to end before Harrison Ford dies with like a cool older indie movie that worked. Like, don't we want to root for that? But no, Kennedy's involved, so it's gonna suck. And blah 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 blah. And you're just like, guys, like just chill.
Go back and watch some of your.
Say what you want to say, but until then, just shut up.
Go back and watch some of your favorite movies ever made. And guess what? Kathleen Kennedy's name is on a lot of those. She managed to not ruin all of those other movies. It is conceivably possible for her name to be attached to a movie that she didn't ruin. Because, by the way, she's the president of Lucasfilm. So, like, when she's not busy ruining Star Wars actively, because that seems to be her pastime, she's probably not like, she was on set. Great. She made a fucking appearance and everyone took pictures of when she was on set. She is not hanging out on the set of Indy 5, like micromanaging and co-directing it. She's not. She doesn't have time. She's too busy trying to find the next woke Star Trek fan to write a Star Wars book. So,
well, maybe the fact that it's just one movie will be a little bit easier for them to handle than 3. Like, oh shit, what are we gonna do for the rest of them? I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Right now,
Jesse, I need to hijack for a second.
Yeah, what's up?
Was playing. My man Marcus in the chat just went to my Cash App because he missed my stream earlier, and he just dropped me $100.
Oh my God,
Marcus! My man, Marcus! Holy shit, Marcus is the best. So I gotta give him love.
You absolutely do.
A little shout out myself. He's in Boston and works at Cheers, and so he gave me the Sam Malone, but I was like, F Sam, I'm putting Marcus's head on there.
Oh, that's cool.
I love you. Holy crap, that was very generous of you. Thanks for watching here. I'm glad we got to entertain you here too.
Shout out to Marcus. Thank you for watching.
The other
cool.
On Thursday we'll celebrate that louder, but Marcus, my man, thank you so much.
That is badass. That should, and guys, if you're watching, don't forget to press the like button. And that's a great reminder for me to get back and read a couple of these super chats.
And yeah, support Jesse too, everybody. But thank you.
Yeah, but before that, guys, we're gonna have to widen the screen up a little bit because guess who's here?
Oh, here we go.
Hi,
What's going
everyone.
on, buddy?
I should have popped with my Carl Weathers mask first.
Oh my god, you should have
Yeah,
absolutely missed. He
Yeah,
has the
Andy, I got
colors.
bored and bought a Carl Weathers Apollo Creed mask. It was like $20. That's why I bought
If
it.
you
'Cause
keep
it's
saying
clear.
you're black, I don't buy it.
It's midnight dark. It's very.
No, Andy's saying that he doesn't buy the You're Black.
Oh God, no! I'm not dark enough to be any of that stuff.
Hmm.
I
He's only
shaved too.
pretending.
I also look.
You're like Robert Downey Jr.
Oh my
in Tropic Thunder, maybe.
Jeff does this weird thing where he combs over his hair to the side and looks super white, and it's scary.
I look
don't
like my
He looks like he could safely walk down the streets of any city and not
in
get
the
shot.
'60s.
Like, yeah, he could get service at a deli counter in the 60s.
Oh,
It's real. That shit's real. Super chats. Reading them. You missed us talking about Sesame Street earlier. It was special. Direct Kirby, thank you for the super chat. It says, watch that YouTube link about the cats and their meaning. I have watched a million videos about what all the cats mean when they purr, so I've probably seen it. But thank you, Greg Kirby. We do love our cat videos in this household, and we appreciate you. Baltimore guy! Oh my god! Baltimore guy is the guy who sent us the best super chat ever.
That's why I'm here.
It said, "You guys are fine, comma." And it was great. It was magical. I'll never forget that night. But tonight he sends us a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, thank you so much, Baltimore guy. Keep on cooking the narrative. We'll do just that. Thank you. Russell Hall also, thank you for the super chat. Says, honestly, I wish I had stopped with Infinity War. Not impressed by Endgame. I guess. Andy McCallum, thank you for the super sticker. Sends a little sheep at you new. Number 1. Oh, good. Demi Moore's tapeworm is here. Hello from below. Just popping my head out to say hi. Jeff told me to head over here, so here I am. Been busy doing wormy things. Hail and take care.
By the way, Demi Moore's tapeworm. Hopefully, come back. We'll read the super chat. He sent one right as we were going off air. I was like, oh. So Mary's going to respond to you in the chat. She's over here as well.
There you go.
Thank
Also,
you, Demi Moore's tapeworm.
Hi, Mary.
Didn't somebody change their name last time we were on to something funny and then they were stuck with it the whole stream? I can't remember.
They did. Oh
You know that
god,
happened to Proper, right?
It
Remember
was.
when he changed his name to Proper Jenny?
I do. He was stuck as proper Jenny for
That's
3 months.
legendary.
That was amazing. Did he do it for Pride Month as a joke? And I was like stuck that way forever.
It might have been. That was like years ago. That was a good joke.
That was solid. I love when a joke backfires. Oh, Echo Base Network, thank you for joining. Thank you everyone who came over from the High Council. Welcome and hail. Thank you for everyone sending super chats. We'll catch up with these.
Somebody said Kathleen Kennedy was attached to 2 Girls, 1 Cup. I mean, I'd believe that.
I would watch the hell out of that version. That'd be funny.
That that
guess.
Case2 fan, thank you for the super chat. Says movies are stupid. I recommend good music. Hilarious coming from one of the biggest movie fans that I know.
Does Kristen Stewart know how to actually play music?
I don't know.
Like, was that her in the Joan Jett movie?
I don't know actually. I think she can sing.
Oh.
Ish. There was another super chat, but is it?
Yeah, because
Are you sure?
Yeah, yours in the fridge store, right?
I thought no, I took mine out. I'm
Oh, I
pretty
saw
sure
it.
that's mine.
What?
Sorry. Problems in the house. Difficult problems. Is this my Gatorade or is it your identical Gatorade? Gee, I don't know. We'll just have to share it and find out because it's not like we swap saliva all the time.
Gross.
I gave it away, by the way. I told everyone that you're just my race shield, and that's why I kiss you so much, is so everyone believes we're in love for real.
raise the race shields.
We really take our charade to the next level. Just ask our housemate. Thank you so much, Mary. Mary Mayhem for the super chat says, "Hail the matriarchy." Thank you. Mary will be on the matriarchy tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific since Anna is away. So when Anna is away, the gals come out to play. I don't know why I said it like that.
I don't know.
I'll never do that again.
You should do it right now, please.
Sold
But
it real
Mary
well there, yeah.
We'll be there, and we will hopefully have another human possibly joining us. If not, me and Mary are more than a party.
I kept showing the High Council pillow.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one. I do enjoy it. Where is this other one? There was another one before this, and I'm trying to find it. My computer makes me look worse at technology than I actually am. Okay, there it is. Demi Moore's tapeworm, another one. Thank you. For some reason, I can't find it in the chat. If I was Mangold, I would have said, "I'm sorry if you don't like the idea of the movie. I hope I can win you over with Indy 5." That would have ended it. That's yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
there was
I agree that would have been a better way to do it, but He decided to lean a little harder.
Okay. What was the general takeover here?
Our consensus was that fans really need to chill the fuck out and like wait till you have something to talk about, not production stills, which are never reflective of the finished product of a film. However, as a Hollywood director with the track record that he has,
an Oscar?
Yeah, you need to be. I'm pretty sure you need to be bigger than that. Like, why are you wasting your time fighting with people on Twitter? Like,
so then
chill out.
We pretty much are in agreement because I agree. But what people want to do and with this movie is you can, but you need to put in the work and the thought.
Yeah.
Like if you want to critique what's happening, cool. But like you can't just look at 5 pictures and make an assumption based off bad information. Like you can look at, okay, I'll do it for you people right now. You can look at Indiana Jones 4 and how it was sold to you, and then look at The Force Awakens and how it was sold to you, and then you can look at this one and how it will be sold to you again. You can look at those trends, but people want to put together this and that and not really follow the real story to get there.
Pause. Is something wrong with Sweet Pea? I just saw her in the chat, by the way. I did see you earlier, Sweet Pea. I'm sorry for not saying anything. I love you. And Andy McCallum's here. You guys are the best. And I saw Liver Cirrhosis in here earlier under your YouTube name, but Liver Cirrhosis over on the tube on Livet. Because Sweet Pea says, thank you very much, and you're very welcome, very proud, blah. But then you said something back about feel better soon. And I was like, is there something wrong with Sweet Pea? Is Sweet Pea okay? And I'm proud of you too, Andy, for whatever it is. But I'm just worried about Sweet Pea. It's important. But yes, agree. And also that kind of brings me back to a little bit of Andy's point earlier about stop making it all about whether it's too woke or not woke enough and this and that.
How can you fucking talk about that yet? We don't know anything about this movie.
But just in terms of everything, people are talking about everything in terms of that. My whole thing is exactly, it does not mean if the movie's good or not. And every problem you have with what wokeness adds to a film, you can discuss and disseminate without using the word woke or words related to wokeness. You can discuss how this, because really what it is, when I see a moment that is woke and I don't like it, it's because it wasn't written well. It was a poorly written moment. It was a moment where they decided to lean into writing a message or exposition over telling a good story or integrating that information in a more fluid manner. And so if that's an issue and you want to be critical of a film, there's always better language. That's why I hate button words in general. There are always better words to use than button words. And if you aren't going to put in the time and effort to use the vocabulary to actually describe what it is you don't like about something, then you're just being a hater, basically.
Yeah, and people look for it. That's the worst part. Like, stop looking for it. Like, I get it can be, something can set you off. They can write it, like you said, poorly, and it can set you off. But don't be going into a movie like, I'm going to look for the woke points. I'm going to find all the woke scenes. Like, don't, man, because you're going to find it. You're going to find it no matter what. And then you're going to be going into.
If you're looking for it, you will ruin so many older movies. The original Halo game, people, if it came out today, everyone would bitch about how woke Cortana was and how she's putting the Master Chief in his place the whole time and how obnoxious she is and how terrible it is. When that game came out, everyone was like, Cortana's sexy. She's a sexy AI. We are all video game nerds who want to bang Cortana, except for me, because I was like, I'm a heterosexual female. I want to bang the Master Chief. And
I never had that feeling about any video game character.
And I don't care. I did, and I'm proud. But nobody fucking gave a shit. Like, there are so many movies that if you went back and watched the lens of today's hypersensitive culture, every fucking time a woman, asserted her independence, you would have a million people going, she's so woke. No, like, at what point is everyone just being fucking sexist? One side thing, like, she's underwent rape. She must be, that's not real women. Like, no, it is. But like the other side being like, she came back from it and was stronger. That's not real women. Like, no, you're all.
You also think the same shit.
The thing that I've seen, it's growing.
Gonna have a white guy play an Egyptian or whatever. John Rhys Davies is British, right?
Yeah.
People go, it's too whatever. Like, you can even watch Raiders of the Lost Ark, or Star Wars, or any of these things. Like, trying to watch old movies under a modern lens is stupid because we're stupid.
They would either be canceled or be too woke.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, it's like exactly like you were just about to say what I was saying, which is the fact that sometimes I'm seeing just, oh my God, they cast someone black or they cast a woman. Oh, the movie's woke. It's like, that's not what that means. We've turned this term into this catch-all that I do believe there is some sexist, racist stuff that's just happening because people don't even know what the woke means.
Exactly. Well,
it's okay to have black people or women in movies. it's to me, the woke issue is just like when you call it out, like Batwoman to me is the perfect example of a show that is too woke, where you meet the hero and literally the first line is her mom. Man, you keep bringing your girlfriends in here. And just like, why do we need to know that as the first identifying line of Batwoman? That she's a lesbian, that has, it's like, to me, that's when it's like, we don't have that much to meet a character, and that's the first thing we're going to tell you. That to me is when it's like getting annoying, where it's like, come on, let's. So, but I understand why everything is woke now. It's annoying me.
Well, you had the weird thing where it's like, the woke people got ahead of it in the beginning. So back when The Force Awakens came out, you heard this weird thing where everyone was running around, like, maybe it didn't get out everywhere else, but in LA, you legitimately had people being like, oh my God, do you hear how everyone hates this movie because it's a female lead, and like all the Star Wars basement dwelling fans can't deal with a female lead in Star Wars? And I'm like, no, literally nobody is saying that. You were made up this narrative. This is an invented Hollywood narrative to make you guys feel better about your shitty remake of a great movie. And that's the way it was then. And now it's like it's Twilight Zone weird, where it's like, it's completely shit. It's like they've created a self-fulfilling prophecy. We, not me, or us specifically, but the people who are now knee-jerk going woke, 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 have allowed themselves to fall into this self-fulfilling prophecy of being exactly what they were once accused of, which many people at one point, it's like, then it begs a lot of questions. It's like, okay, well, when you were fighting against this before, were you really fighting against it for the right reasons, or were you just hiding the fact that you secretly were mad that there was a female lead in Star Wars? Like, it's asking those questions now, and I'm like, that wasn't a thing that back then. There weren't, like, it's almost like looking for the racists have enabled that behavior, or it's like, oh, if you have people running around saying everyone's a racist, then people start to feel like, well, everyone's a racist, so I guess I'm a racist too, and all you have is just this continuing pull to the extremes on both sides, and all either of them do is push each other further to those extremes. It drives me crazy. I started coming at all this from that person who went to an incredibly liberal college, and like literally the college that probably the college that was where the students were unironically calling themselves social justice warriors. It's not an exaggeration. That's not a line I say. When I went to college, the people around me unironically referred to themselves as social justice warriors and decided to go on a crusade fighting the administration on the campus that during the time I was there was voted the most LGBTQ friendly school. Actually, it was just LGBT back then, but the most LGBT friendly school in the country while I was there. And instead of, I don't know, going to a big state capital 45 minutes down the road to protest real things or try to effect policy change, they would protest the administration for not being sensitive enough to its gay members. So that I came to this fight from the side of watching wokeness happen and eat itself from the inside out, and found an amazing amount of solace with people that I was once, convinced was once told to hate because they were evil, and the other side. And I was like, oh my God, there's so many open-minded thinking people here. And I've watched that pool of open-minded thinking people just shrink more and more as everybody, either on one side or the other, buys into outrage culture. And it's like, it's so passé now. It's so fucking boring. And yet the people who are entrenched and addicted to it can't stop sucking more people in with them. It's like this gross addiction.
Preach. I hear you. I mean, there's outrage that I think is worthy of calling out and reporting on. Like, there is stuff out there that's worth talking about, but I agree the woke stuff has gotten so lazy.
Exactly.
I'm just like, okay, yeah, great, duh. But this new one today with Into the Heights. Have you heard about this with Lin-Manuel Miranda, like having to apologize because In the Heights, which I thought was a beautiful movie. I enjoyed it. It was a good musical. My lady's Puerto Rican. Like, she got emotional. Thought it was just really nice to see. And it's not dark skinned enough. It's not Afro Latinx. So now all these people have been complaining to Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he had to apologize and basically say he failed. And you're just like, what? Like, In the Heights, this like amazing like Latin represented film isn't diverse enough, guys, because they needed more Afro Latinx representation. You're just like they're literally cannibalizing themselves. Like,
did you know the majority of the Latina community doesn't even know what the fuck Latinx means, nor do they?
Totally, no, it's the Latinx community who's complaining, and literally they confronted the director like in a junket, and this like reporter is like, "What's up with the not a lot of dark skinned Afro, blah blah blah," and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's like." Dude, I've been my buddy Lewis, who earlier super chat. Thank you, Lewis. Nerd Report. But he's been on it all day. It's like he's been sending all these pictures from Washington Heights of like parties in front of the bodegas and stuff. And I'm looking at the parties. I'm like, looks like the fucking movie to me. Like I don't know what color of skin was missing. That's like was not in the world, but like the fact that these people like are complaining about this movie. Where it's like, this is the movie you're going to complain about? Like, really? Like, it just shows how stupid everything is. Like, this is the movie that actually is finally like putting Latinos in leads, which is so rare in Hollywood movies. Sure. And now you're going to complain that they weren't dark enough? Like idiot. These people are fucking idiots.
Andy,
it's never enough.
Did you hear about Sia's movie? The singer? That blew my mind. Blew my fucking mind. The fact that there were people, I followed that one really closely. There were some of the autism community advocates publicly calling out and attacking mothers of autistic children who said, wow, this movie really spoke to me and all this. They were telling them that they were doing a bad job as parents by not calling this movie out. And I'm like, who are you people? Like some of these people who feel so entitled to do this have probably never even met someone on the spectrum. Who are living in their little tight little bubbles where kids on the spectrum are sent to special schools and they've never fucking seen one. And they're I'm fighting for the rights, attacking mothers. Who, the most unconscionable thing for parents is to have a child born with special needs. With it's devastating for a parent to have to stare down a life knowing that they're gonna have to do so much extra to help their child be okay. For so many parents, there are some parents who don't have the resources to take care of children with special needs. In every situation, a parent of a child with special needs has gone through some extra bullshit in raising their kid, and I'm sure doesn't fucking appreciate being told by some rando on the internet why they're not doing a good enough job because they thought a movie that finally fucking spoke to them was, they didn't think it was evil. What the fuck? Have you heard the word empathy? Ever.
No, we're all so entitled now because of social media and because we have our own little $100 followers that we all need to tell everybody what we think, and if they don't agree with us, they're wrong, and we have to cancel them. It is literally what's happening constantly. I think it's getting better. I think people have finally wised up to it enough, but it's not done by any stretch of the imagination.
No, but on the flip of that, and kind of again with the point of like let's not worry about bitching about wokeness all the time is. Like you said, it's not done, but it's at the same time, there are alternatives now. For a while, it felt like nothing was allowed to happen without the stamp of wokeness approval. Now you go, I think wokeness started at the Oscar level. Of course, it always starts in these heady ideas of what social justice means, but has trickled really down into more of the plebeian stuff of now, we're trying to package this in your MCU flicks, in your regular people movies. We're trying to package this to the average everyday person. The way I say it is they're selling you social justice now the way they sold you flat asses and hip huggers in the 90s. And when you go up to the top level now, the trend-setting ideals of what's getting nominated for Oscars, that wokeness is trickling out. You can now look like we have been so conditioned to go sniff it out and get mad about where it is. Nomadland, the one that won Best Picture, beautiful movie, not woke. The Father, beautiful movie with a white male lead, not woke. Love and Monsters, which was only nominated for visual effects, mind-blowingly brilliant movie. I cannot stop singing its praises. Absolutely gorgeous, absolutely stunning. Has a male lead that goes ahead and nuts up in Act 1. It's beautiful. And oh my God, the love interest is diverse, is Asian, and it's not weird or woke in any respect at all. It's not, nothing's harped upon about identity. They're just two people who happen to be of different ethnicities. Oh my God, wow, let's not make a big fucking thing about it. The only movie, like even Trial of the Chicago 7 was not a movie that gave into wokeness over its story. It was a story movie, right? It told.
How about Minari? I didn't think Minari was woke.
Dude, but Minari was one of my favorite. Minari was up there. I'm up there with that and Promising Young Woman, for which were my favorites of the Best Picture.
But like Minari wasn't woke. It was just like a Korean family in the South trying to like make ends meet, and it's sad, and it's more of an American story than anything else.
It was such an incredible job of that too. Of like really, it brought in the right amount of the Korean family values to help you understand how they were different, how their lives were lived differently than their neighbors. But it was about this man searching for a very traditional American dream.
Yeah, and purpose. Yeah.
Yeah. And so all of these movies, which had diversity, which had strong female leads, or casts of different ethnicities, etc., that didn't make a fanfare about identity, that didn't make a fanfare about that. The only movie that I thought suffered for wokeness was Judas and the Black Messiah. I thought that one really sucked a lot of the heart and soul out of what's a really, really compelling story for the sake of trying to make it about a point in the message.
There's a difference. There's a difference between making a movie and checking off a fucking list. You're not making a piece of art if you're just saying, okay, we got to do this, we got to have this, we got to have this. Don't forget this. They'll be pissed off if we don't do this. These are the shitty movies that you can obviously tell aren't any good. Than the actual films that just have that stuff kind of baked into it perfectly. You'll never notice because the story and everything else is so engaging that it won't matter because you don't need this shit. Idiots and bad writers do this kind of shit where you check off boxes.
Exactly.
You shouldn't even bother having the story. If you write it correctly, like these boxes should be just checked off automatically and you don't even think about it.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Exactly. And you're exactly right about checking the boxes. Judas and the Black Messiah is what I would call a social justice propaganda piece. Now, the thing is, that's not to say that there isn't a place in cinema for a social justice propaganda piece. There is. They've existed since movies have existed. People want to spread a message via that. But for me, though, when you make that decision, you've made a decision, I am going to make this about the message. I'm going to make this about hammering home the idea of what I feel is right and what I feel is wrong, what the absolute morality is in this film. You have elected to sacrifice what we would consider the hallmarks of good storytelling, exactly like Cody said, being able to slip that message in without hammering your audience over the head, without having to make it so crystal clear, leaving room for interpretation, leaving room for questions, leaving room for a lack of absolution. And that doesn't mean it's a bad movie or without merit because they elected to go for the message over the story. It does mean for me, though, that it really should take it out of the Oscar conversation. I don't know. For me, I don't understand why you put that in a screenwriting nomination category and a Best Picture category, because I'm like, the filmmakers had a very clear angle with it. It's not a bad movie. It just doesn't hit the emotional depth that I think they were looking for because they went for message over substance.
You want to see woke awards? Look at the gaming awards.
Yeah.
Look at those guys because those guys are purposely picking things because of the narratives, because of that bullshit. Like Ghost of Tsushima should have won Game of the Year, and it didn't. That's the thing. Like they'll pick things over other things just because of the woke messaging. And I think the Oscars is getting a little better, as you said. I really do think they're starting to respect the films that should be respected. But obviously, like they don't pick all our favorites. I mean, like they're not going to put any Fast and the Furious movies in there, any kind of stuff. The ones that make me have a good time in the theater. But that's fine. It's the ones that deserve to be there usually are. I mean, some of us are just have our own flavor of things, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I concur. I also one of the really cool things about streaming, has bad things, has great things. On the flip side of the spectrum is the access to independent cinema. So much access to independent cinema, so much of which is being told the way it always has been by filmmakers with a lot of heart and a story to tell. And they pour their heart and soul and every little resource they have into making it the most beautiful thing they can. And there's so much out there. It is absurd to focus solely on the negative. And like Andy says, we like movies. We're here to like movies. When there are so many movies out there and so many good ones and so many ones that don't have all these things that we apparently hate, go where the good is. Yeah, there's some battlegrounds. I get it. It's like, we're not just going to retreat off of Star Wars and go, oh, we hate Star Wars, whatever, fuck it. But it doesn't have to be, okay, if they announce a movie that's, and the way they announce the movie is, we have a black lead and an Asian lead and a gay character and a trans character. Okay, well, you know what kind of movie they're making, so don't go see it. They make it pretty transparent. It's pretty obvious now, the people who are still cashing in on identity to tell movie tickets and the people who have actually turned their attention back to making good cinema. So it's just about finding your way forward. Got a lovely crop of super chats here that I want to make sure we read. Some fun contributions for Devin Moore's tape room, if these ever And feel free to disagree with me, guys. I don't need the absolute. All right. Jeff just disagrees with me, so I don't feel like I'm right too often.
I mean,
It's
there's a
bad.
thing called balance in the world.
That's right. It's bad for my soul. And he's like, I'm just trying to stay awake.
I had to get
so-
an oat cake. Sorry for sitting right there.
No, you good. You good. And guys, make sure you subscribe to these wonderful people. I have been dropping the links to both Cody and Andy.
I
So
could use some subscribers. Please subscribe to World Class Bullshitters.
definitely could go sub to World Class Bullshitters as well if you want. You don't have to, but
You do.
You should definitely follow me on Live It though, because that's where I live. That's where I
Actually, live at 1908. Oh,
what? No. Doxing us. Did you guys didn't hear the story about how I almost did get doxed on Live It though? Delivery guy calls. So Live It's I stream from the phone. Delivery guy calls to confirm a delivery, and he's like,
no.
and he starts reading it out loud. I'm like, I just dove away and like threw the phone across the room. It was an experience.
Oh shit!
I'm
Gotta move again, some bitch.
right. God damn it.
you joke. Don't joke.
Don't joke. We just moved here. We love this place. Don't do it. Do. Where am I? Okay. There we are. Greg Kirby says, Mary said matriarchy. I knew the two guys were females. Dude, she's promoting the matriarchy tomorrow. She's going to be on it. 3 p.m. Pacific, right back here.
Get with it. What are you doing?
The tube of views. That Case 2 fan says, just wondering who would win a fight between Jeff and Andy. Jeff is strong, but Andy's handsome. Yes, Case 2 plays guitar, Runaways, and Into the Wild. Well, there you go. I forgot she does play. I have heard her play and sing in Into the Wild, a song that I've actually done a cover of. So there you go. Who would win between a fight, Jeff or Andy?
Jeff.
I'm putting my money on Jeff.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Me too. I just.
I feel like if Jeff just runs into you at like a high enough speed, though, you'll just go flying.
Just kick him in the nuts.
I'll just wear a
He'll
cup.
just run at a high speed with his hands over him.
Pull his hair.
Now, Jesse, we talking table match? We talking cage match? What are we talking?
Ooh, that's actually an important question.
If it's a table match, I'll have the advantage
That's
because
very true.
I can guarantee I can pick up Andy. Andy couldn't pick me up, so.
Oh, I'll accept that challenge someday.
All right, cool. We'll meet to literally try to lift each other up.
Then walk away.
Gotta do like the Hulk Hogan slam on him, fucking Andre the Giant.
I was so I play this wrestling game on my computer. It's a booking simulator, so there's no actual wrestling. But I booked Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant for like 6 weeks straight. The audio. You get it for sure.
Whichever. I didn't know which one I was.
You the back one, yeah.
I am this one. Okay. Huzzah. This is true. Jeff, this is our weekend was or actually, yeah, several of our days this weekend where we were feeling under the weather.
Still am.
So I was playing Maneater and the shark game. And Jeff was playing his wrestling game. But yeah, it turns out I'm really good at shark video games. I
Just
spent the weekend
relieving some stress, eh?
What?
Relieving some stress, eh?
Dude, yes. Murdering people to death with my electric jaws and my bone fins. Yes, very much yes. I have fully maxed my shark up already.
Did you play the original Jaws Unleashed? I think that's the game it's based off of.
No, but I would love to. I used to play Hungry Shark on the iPad, which was great. This one reminded me a little bit of that. I like it a lot. Super chats. Every time I say that, I say it the same way that Neil Patrick Harris's Dr. Horrible goes emails in Dr. Horrible's sing-along blogs. So now you guys know. You can appreciate.
Knowing is half the battle.
You just can appreciate the reference. That Case 2 fan. Okay, no, we just read that one. Nerd Report. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks for having Andy on. I love your takes. I don't know if that was Andy's takes or my takes. I'm glad either way. I love Andy's takes. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I have Andy on too. It is always a pleasure and a delight to have Andy on. I love telling the story of how we ended up meeting in the YouTube sphere. It is pretty excellent. Basically, as social justice Jesse, I insisted that Andy should remain canceled because he's an evil white man and therefore guilty. And even though that was probably the number one video I made. I think it was because it was so topical. That was the number one social justice Jesse video I made where people thought that I was serious. Like I was legitimately serious. So he rode with the bit on one of Andy's streams, and then I guess he liked me because I think we're friends now. And he's like, friends is a stretch.
I know you.
Friends is a stretch. He's like, I'll appear on your live streams occasionally if they don't get me into trouble.
Why, of course. What do you mean? Well, we're not friends. What does that mean?
You gave me a look. I said we're friends now, and you gave me the glare.
Coming from? Well, you need me to say we're friends? Yeah, of course we're friends.
No, but when I said that, you gave me this glare. Like,
I'm just
we're
half
not
asleep.
friends.
It's 2 a.m. here.
Yeah, I'm tired at 11 o'clock here.
That's reasonable. I was kind of in the mindset of
That's
reading.
just 2 a.m. face.
It's a good. You know what?
Streaming for 5 hours face.
It's definitely.
Just 5 hours. Oh, like EFAP hours there. That's crazy.
It beats the shit out of my streaming for 5 hours at 2 a.m. face. That's for damn sure. Although it's been a long time since I hit 5 hours and 2 a.m. without being hammered, and that's just not a thing that happens so
You know
much.
what I had? This is my favorite thing. My sponsor. Well, I mean, I'm just not really.
Fishing
Can't ginger ale with lemonade.
Dude,
we've
we
had that.
love that. That's good. I'm into their bold one too.
Oh, I love this shit. This was so good.
You damn Americans and all your damn flavors of things. They're like, oh, you want some Canada Dry either, bud? Well, we got original. That's all we got.
In fucking Canada. They're like, yeah, we got one flavor of this
We
shit.
didn't even get original. We got bold.
Yeah, we got bold.
Like people
hate
kill each
soda.
other. People kill each
Ginger
other
ale's the
for
only thing I
vanilla
do
Coke.
when I found out that they had flavored ginger ales, I was like, oh my god, yes.
Dude, cranberry ginger ale, that's the shit.
I haven't tried that one yet.
I get that
They,
around Christmas.
yeah, they always have it around the holidays.
Good for urinary tract infections too.
Yeah. I
Right?
hoard that shit. I had like 12 cases. I bought 12 cases last year.
You're like, this, that and cherry 7-Up. I feel like cranberry ginger ale is the adult version of cherry 7-Up.
My grandma drank cherry 7 Up all the time. That was her
Dude.
drink.
No,
Go
Thanksgiving.
to her house and get a cherry 7 Up because no one else drank that shit.
Even as an adult on Thanksgiving, where I'm like, oh, now that I'm old enough to drink a ton of beers and get hammered with my cousins, I still was like, yeah, but I also have to drink cherry 7-Up because it's the one time of the year I drink cherry 7-Up. And then my parents started buying birch beer. And I was like, we don't go down to the shore anymore, so I don't drink birch beer once a year in the summertime. So now I got to drink birch beer on Thanksgiving and cherry 7-Up and like 12,000 Guinnesses.
God, first world problems are a bitch, ain't
Fuck, and wine.
God, it's so rough, Jesse, man. That sounds terrible.
I know my life sucks. And it's usually my birthday. So irrespective of if it lands on the day or not,
they? You really got it rough. I'm
Thanksgiving
so sorry.
dessert is always like a birthday cake with my name on it. It's terrible.
Oh, God.
Fuck.
How
If you guys, you can go to the store and buy a vanilla Coke. Like you don't have it that bad, you know.
Dude, we have
you want
cream
vanilla
soda
Coke?
Dr. Pepper now.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we don't get any of that kind of stuff. So even like the lesser flavors, like even like the cherries and the vanillas and all that stuff, like we kill each other for just that. You know, like they'll have a case of that shit somewhere, and we'll be like, "I got the lowdown. We know where it is."
It's so simple.
Do you
man.
guys have
It's
the
like-
fancy drink machines yet? Like at your movie theaters where you get all the syrups at once and you can like make up bullshit drinks that don't exist, like grape
Yeah.
Fanta.
So good, yeah.
That's I would say that's like a
Or like
number.
strawberry Sprite or something.
It's hit or miss. Honestly, I like the most underrated pop in the world. I think is Dr. Pepper, and I like it
Dr.
straight.
Dr. Pepper's
No one
legit.
talks about it. No one talks about how legit Dr. Pepper is. No one
He's a
talks about how
work one.
classy it is.
Dr. Pepper, that is the soda that my dad will occasionally drink.
And so you're a fine, classy motherfucker. You pour that in a glass with some ice. You don't drink it out of a can like a peasant. You drink it like a man. It's like a
My
fine
dad-
alcohol.
My dad drinks barely any soda, but he drinks Dr. Pepper every once in a blue moon.
Have you ever seen the movie Blast from the Past? Because Christopher Walken drinks the warm Dr. Pepper every night. His wife warms it up for him in the pot.
I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not acceptable.
I wouldn't drink it, but I like that movie.
I do. The one time I saw it, I'd watch it again. I enjoy
I
it.
have it on DVD, but I lost it.
We still have to watch Ernest Goes to Jail. I still need to email Richard about that because that was the funniest. So, so Andy, we had, just an awesome Oscar stream, pre-Oscar. Talk about a great stream where it was no fucking bitching about wokeness. Everyone talking about movies they loved and reasons they loved these movies. It was beautiful. And so we're talking to, we had a guy who has an Academy Award for editing Star Wars on the fucking stream with us, and it was baller shit. And we're having a blast talking about these movies. And we're like, all right, so what's your pick for the movie that got passed up for an Oscar, like the biggest like oversight in the Academy Awards of all time? We're all making our picks, and whatnot. The chat was making their picks, and somebody in the chat suggested Ernest Goes to Jail, and that the chat decided that was so important and such a slight that days later I received a copy of Ernest Goes to Jail, so that I may understand how egregiously the Academy slighted this film.
That guy's amazing, man. I'm so saddened that he died. When I was a kid and I found out he died, I was so sad, because it was just, you can't have that guy again. Like, anybody who tried to play him again, it would never work. No.
No.
I was just in jail.
Yeah, I mean that's the porn version of Ernest Goes to Jail. Just Nova says, I think James Mangold is a strong personality and KK and Harrison trust him to work. That's another thing too, by the way. Kathleen Kennedy, she's going to get involved in a picture when she hires a weak director, because that's when she has an opinion on how it's going to go, and she wants to decide to, be a creative and get involved. Mm-hmm. James Mangold, solid track record. He's not really going to sit there and take shit. She didn't hire him to stick her fingers and play around and blah, blah, blah. If she did, eventually he would just quit like everyone else does, like all the other big shot directors when she interferes too much. So, like, unquestionably, or as far as you feel, unquestionably, there is a problem. There's an issue with Kathleen Kennedy not understanding that the role of a president is not a creative role, and she should probably stop overstepping her bounds in that regard. But I don't think that's going to be an issue with Indy, for a lot of the aforementioned reasons. Also, a lot of this movie was in development when she was stewarding a pretty heavy storm through the post Rise of Skywalker waters. So again, another reason why you're hiring big names and putting important people on it. That's the hallmark of somebody who goes, I hired people that I trust to do this thing over here and not have to worry about it and get involved.
Well, everybody has one thing they keep forgetting. Indiana Jones 4 happened. Like, all the people that wanted to complain about the movie complain about that one.
Yeah.
With Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
And George Lucas. And Kathleen Kennedy. And Frank Marshall. And all these fucking people. It sucked. Why should 5 be any better? That's the crux of the argument. Because, like, this isn't Star Wars. No. We haven't seen, whatever. This isn't the first time it's been around in years. Indiana Jones got the modern revival.
True story.
And where was the plan? Like, that's the most egregious part about that whole deal, is that they didn't know what was going to happen at the end of the whole thing. Like, even George kind of knew, like, hey, like, even though what was going on in the prequels, like, he kind of had an idea what was going on. He made changes, but the overall arc was there. Whereas this just, what was this? Like, why didn't Daisy really know what was going on, the entire time? Like, she's just like, I didn't know what's going on. I'm just going to go with it. All of that stuff coming out are just these hallmarks, these indicators of the utter laziness of some of these filmmakers, that the laurels they think they can rest on. To me, some of that social media creates the problem. People think they can create, sort of manufacture hype around themselves in order to sell their movie, and then they get pissed off when they're not the superstar they fucking think they are.
I need to go prep and leave us, and I need to take a 5-minute nap before I'm doing this next thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you look pretty beat there.
I don't want to keep looking so tired because it's not your fault. It's just I didn't get much sleep last night with my kid. But thank you for having me, and keep the conversation going. But I've bitched enough about Kathleen Kennedy. One plug though, if you'll have me, let me, which is go check out this. Can I show you something quick?
Yeah, please, by all means.
Hold on, where is it? Let me show you the opening of this because it's funny.
Prag Magic, I don't know why. The guy's a fucking wizard.
Fucking Terminator, man. I don't know how to do that. That's crazy.
Wait, well, let me share. I will.
He's a robot. Andy went away and got replaced by the Illuminati. He's a lizard person now.
Yep.
Here we go.
Hold on, wait. Skipping the ad. Go away, ad. Hold on.
In the audience.
So this is the new show I do called Best Movie Ever.
Ooh.
And we had Howard the Duck himself, Ed Gale.
Half of the idiots in the audience were too busy themselves. They weren't watching the movie.
Vito, I think we're absolute creeps, apparently, according to
Yeah,
Ed
I guess
Gale.
I'm just a creep, and I just wanted a duck and a lady to get it on. I mean,
You didn't want much, you know?
Guys, it's very funny. Ed Gale was the guy in the Howard the Duck suit, and we get all the information about the duck boobs. You guys remember the duck boobs?
Oh my god.
No.
There they are. Wait, do I have it there? There they are. The image of there's a sort of a the image of. Where is I'm just gonna say it. Duck boobs. I mean, come on.
that was one of mine.
Where's the shot? Oh, I put the ad right before the duck boobs, of course. But the duck boobs, we got all the information.
Movie. One of mine.
As a kid, introduced, I was like, oh my god, look at those boobs on that. There it is. It's barred because you can't. They actually have boobs on that duck.
Dude, I
But
love it.
Dale gave us all the information. We broke some interesting new ground on what the duck boobs, what was about. Are they real boobs? You'll find it all on Best Movie Ever over on my channel, Movie World.
Wow.
So I'll put the link after you're done. Link this for later. Go show it some love. It's my new show. I'm proud of. It's a lot of fun.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
And thank you for having me. You guys are the best.
Thank you for being here,
Yeah.
Andy. We
It's nice to meet you, man.
Proud of it. It's a lot of fun. Good to meet you, Bassman. Bassman?
Bassman. Yeah.
Like
The
bass
fish.
fish.
Yeah, I like the fish.
I appreciate it. Good to meet you. And Jeff,
Fish.
always a pleasure, even though I still don't believe you're black. Sorry. I'm not going to accept it. You're not dark enough.
I mean,
racism.
it's cool. People won't call me their black friend anymore.
So it's in now. I'm allowed to do that, right? That's sort of we're allowed to do that now? Yeah.
Yeah, you're allowed to shame Jeff for
So-
pretending to be for claiming oppression points. The skin does not afford him.
Cage match, bro. Cage match. Let's do it.
Just kidding. Love all you guys. Thank you, Jesse. Come on. We got to come back on mine sometime.
Yes,
too.
definitely. Anytime you
And I'll
want.
come on. I got to figure out some night I'm not going to be on my stream to go on Jeff's show. I keep
Yeah.
I want to be on the High
we
Council.
compete.
I got an idea for a new show thing, so I'm going to talk to you if you could be a part of it. So we'll work around
Okay,
it.
hit me up. Yeah, I dig it. Hit me up. All right. Thanks, everybody. Keep watching. Bye. Tip your creators. Tip your creators.
So Jesse, real talk.
Yo,
You guys got the Mad Libs, right? You got it?
so let me check. Jeff, can you check inside the other coffee table real quick? I think I did, but I don't think they're there.
Oh no.
Look, dude, we put them.
I saw them.
Did you? Okay.
I saw them here. They're in a box.
Are
Because
they?
I pulled them out. I was like, oh, there. And I put them right back in the box. There's like a.
Are they in the
well-
felt? Are they in the felt little felt box in a box?
They might be. I
Ah.
don't think so, though. I thought I saw
Oh no.
them in a box.
We're trying. Let me see if I can find a good one online too. Guys, make sure you sub to Andy because he's awesome, but also sub to Cody because he made a bunch of Mindless Outlaw merchandise that you guys are gonna fucking love. There you go. Boom. All right.
No, there's just like a.
Thank you.
40 stealing solos.
Fork. We're looking for it, but I'm gonna maybe investigate online options or just like write one of my own. I can do that. It's fine.
Should be simple enough. Come on now.
Mary Mayhem, thank you for the super chat. Says soon I'll have a tape room of my own. Heart. Oh, are you with Demi Moore? Is that how you're getting it?
I think I compare.
Are you stealing it from her?
You gonna make him change his username? You ever gonna make him do that?
I'm about this. Good for you, Mary. Greg Kirby says, but Kathleen Kennedy is in charge of Indy 5. Just watch. There'll be a woman who takes the whip and uses it better. YouTubers taught who are Karen and Suze are. Oh, man. I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's. I also, like I said, I mean, Harrison Ford is not. He doesn't give a shit about the contract or any of that stuff. If they fuck around with his character too much, I don't think he's gonna go along with it. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's the thing. He'll protect that one. Like Han Solo, he's like, let's kill this motherfucker. I want to kill him. Let's do it. Let's end his
Right.
And he's like, no, this one, I like this one. Let's do better things with this one. But what was he doing with Crystal Skull? Like, what was he doing there?
I don't fucking know. That was pretty abysmal. But there's also like his character wasn't. Yeah, his character's pretty fucking awful in that movie, pretty much across the board. Yeah.
Part time.
Yeah.
He wasn't Indiana Jones then.
He really wasn't.
No.
But I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not necessarily saying this movie's gonna be any good or not look terrible or not suck. I'm just saying we don't know yet. Do not have answer D. Do not have enough information.
Well, I think what we do have though is the image of him with those de-aging marks, like the CGI markers on his face.
Yeah.
I think it's really telling if Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones for a part of it, and then like a young Indiana Jones in his prime's the other part of the movie. I don't think I'm gonna like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And if he fucking time travels and does some ridiculous shit, like goes back in time to fight Nazis, I'll fucking walk out of the theater.
He's gonna be honestly though. He's gonna be walking like an old man. He's gonna have the mannerisms of an old man. He's gonna be an old man. You know, he's Harrison Ford. He's an ass kicker. You know, I don't think it's gonna show. I think like have a young guy and then just do a deep fake or something. You know.
Yeah.
Young guy in there and try that. I don't know. Just he's gonna be an old guy.
Hollywood doesn't seem to figure out how to do the deep fake right for some reason, even though bitches with fucking phones can.
Give it to the internet.
Yeah, right. The internet will fucking figure that shit out right quick. What else we got here? That Casey Van says, you guys should just go woke and make your lives easier. Just give up. It's better over here. Food tastes better and the sex is amazing. Plus free beer. Those are all lies.
Yeah.
Those are all functional lies, and you are lying to me. I don't believe you. Stop lying and just stop. Don't tell me those lies. Those are lies. Mary Mayhem says, if you make a movie that only exists to highlight diversity in a current day, then you should probably expect to get slammed over there not being enough. Yep. Exactly. Because you have made that movie for exactly one type of crowd, and that crowd is the crowd that has made it very fucking clear that they will not be satisfied no matter what you give them.
No, never.
So what's the point? Debbie Moore's Payporn, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm a parasite in love and living in a 58-year-old cougar. Not woke. Talk about diversity, though. Whew. We've got you and Jeff beat. Ha hugs. Ah! That is an interspecies relationship. That is definitely way weirder than anything going on in this household.
Yeah.
Poopin says I'm woke but not vegan. Are you allowed to be not a vegan and woke? Like, aren't those things contradictory now?
Yeah.
Like, aren't you a murder of animals or some shit? I don't know. Whatever. Animals are delicious. Eat them all day long.
Let's go have some fucking steak.
Steak. Phil Booty, thank you for the super chat. I hate having to put up shields going into watching a movie, so I don't get angry with it if it goes woke, and that keeps me from enjoying the good ones.
Just don't look for it. You know, just go in and enjoy the movie. You don't need to be worried about woke, and don't expect it, because like I said before, you will find it if you're looking for it.
Exactly. Putting up the shield is kind of just another way of expecting it. You know, if you're like, I got to put on my blinders now, it means you're looking for it. Like, try this out. Go back, pick some movies from your childhood or from, I don't know, 20 years ago or something. But movies from the 90s, are great examples. Pick a bunch of movies from the 90s. Go through and watch movies you haven't seen in a while. Watch them with your woke goggles on. Start looking for wokeness in some of those old movies that you really liked. You will find it if you're looking for it. There is a reason. Clearly, it's all about a woman, being right and putting all the men in their place. Obviously, it's obviously the scarecrow is an allegory. They're all allegories for different races.
Yeah, so. Don't put up the woke shields. Go in and try to find things that make sense narratively. Yeah. That's what you should be looking for. Does this make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. And if it adds up enough things that don't make sense, then you got yourself a shitty movie.
That's why everyone was able to make Star Wars content, and people were trying to make content based off stuff now that's not working, because the Disney trilogy was inherently broken as movies. Like, you can not worry about the political stuff and have bad broken movies. Nowadays, people are like, well, I don't know how to look at the narrative structure or this or that. So they're just looking for that shit because they think it's the same.
Yeah. Well, if the wokeness practically slaps you in the trailers, well, then probably don't go see that movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. If you have a movie marketed to you as, look at the black lead, and look how diverse and inclusive, and the gay lead, and the trans lead, oh my God, you know what to expect, don't go see it.
Yeah.
It's the thing I always say to the people who come to my channel and whine about how much they hate me. Like, there's so many dislikes. There were like 3 dislikes on this video before this stream before it even started. I fucking love that. I love that there's at least 3 people out there that before I even did a goddamn thing were like, fuck Jesse. Like, dude, who are you? You are the person who spends $20 to go see a movie you know you're not going to like just so you can bitch about it later. To your audience of nobody. I only go spend $20 to see a movie I know I'm not going to like because I know I'm probably going to make back hundreds of dollars, if not thousands, bitching about that movie later. If you're not getting those kinds of returns on your bitching, stop doing it. Oh, you're a grifter. No, I do exactly what I tell you I do. I go see the thing, I tell you what I think, and then you decide whether or not to support me. It's fun. It's amazing. It's great. It's awesome. If you're not getting anything out of it, like immense amounts of catharsis from screaming into a void, fucking stop.
Yeah.
Stop engaging purposely with things you hate. Stop trying to hate things.
Yeah, if you don't actually hate it, don't attack it and don't rip it apart.
Yeah.
Don't just be a negative asshole about everything, right?
And I get it, Phil. It's tough because we've been conditioned to see it. And so it does feel like you have to deprogram yourself. But try that exercise. Try going and looking for this wokeness in shit, in older shit, right? You'll find it there. And you'll realize to a hammer, everything is a nail, right? There's a reason in Judaism on the Sabbath, you're not supposed to do anything to engage in work related to the building of the temple. That's the idea of not working on the Sabbath. That's where it comes into. That was the day of rest. So even during the building and rebuilding of all the subsequent destructions of the temple and the Holy Land, you were not supposed to do any work towards the temple, even on the Sabbath. And so it was specifically prescribed certain activities to not do, temple building related activities. And one was carrying a hammer, not nailing things, carrying a hammer. Why? Because when you carry a hammer, the temptation to nail is too great. So if you've become a hammer for whatever reason, yes, society has twisted and pushed us into these places, you must let go of your hammer before you go watch the movie. And yeah, it sucks to have to do this because it's not like we wanted this. It's not like we chose to live in this woke world. But to be the better person and to foster change does mean being the uncomfortable one and doing more work than the other people. And if you want change, that's what it is. And if you want shit to stay the same, then yell at clouds. I love you either way.
And don't pick sides. Like don't raise the flag for anti-wokeness or raise the flag for wokeness. Just be in the middle, man. Just play both sides and I think you'll come out with a more clear vision at that point. Because, like I said, sometimes there isn't a woke film. Sometimes it's not woke. Sometimes there's, a woke film that's not necessarily good. But you just got to make sure you're picking your battles and not choosing, stupid things to get pissed about. That's it.
The most important thing I think is to just always be willing to listen. For me, that's my ground rule. Is like my ground entry point for listening to you is, are you willing to listen to other people? If you've demonstrated a willingness to be open and listen to other people's perspectives, I'll give you the time of day, whether or not I agree with you, even if you're woke or whatever. Because to me, these social justice warrior types are the people who are too pig-headed to consider another perspective. If you're listening to another perspective, you don't fall into that category in my book. And I'm not going to slap you with a label and write you off. I'm going to fucking talk to you. Thanks for the reference, Runs with Phantoms.
So, Jesse, are we going to do a sneak peek of the new shirts there?
Yes! We should definitely do that. We're going to play this fun game where I'm going to go to the email so I don't accidentally dox my messages again. There we go. All right.
So is it more silly that you wear shirts with your face on it, or is it more silly that I wear shirts that I designed? What's more silly?
I think definitely that I wear shirts with my face on it, for sure. I've had people in public be like,
what about me?
Your face?
I wear a shirt that I designed with my face on it.
Yeah, he does both.
Oh my God, yeah. Jeff's got us both
so
beat.
The fact that you designed it or the fact that your face is on it?
I pay more attention to the fact that I designed it because I'm like, how does it look? Oh yeah, I'm in it. Like, whatever. Fair
enough. All right, so you guys ready for the Mindless Outlaw merch that will be coming your way one of these days?
fucked up the timing.
It's okay. I fucked up the timing. Bam.
Badass.
There's the first one. I love it. Obviously, Red Dead. Fucking beautiful. Me and my posse. It gets better, by the way. If in case you're already looking at this going like, God damn, way to just encapsulate everything the mindless outlaws should be in a single image. It gets better because there's this.
Lando.
I don't even think here's your I love it. I love it.
Just random logos you can toss here and there wherever you want.
You can bumper sticker this one too. This I don't know if you guys can tell.
Might have to zoom in a little bit on that one, yeah.
But you know if you can tell who's on the card right here. Let's see. Let me see. Can we see? It's Pancake! Yeah, he's a Joker. And a smoker. And a midnight joker. La 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 la. And then possibly my favorite one. We've got the backside, Mindless Outlaws. This is the one, like if you want to announce yourself as part of the gang, you wear this, the big old Mindless Outlaw brand on the back. But the best part about this, actually I can't decide. I'll let you guys decide what the best part about this one is. It is either the fact, as we zoom in here, that it becomes clear when you get closer on this image that I am holding an actual anatomically correct fencing saber, and that my hair still has a swoosh in it, even with that tiny infide of detail. And that, my friends, is why Cody is a goddamn wizard. And who's holding the card? That would be me. That would be me shadowed into a Joker-esque, dark and shadowy image. So, and is there? So this might be my favorite just because of those precious details. Oh.
Yeah, so I sent another one without the eyes because I wasn't sure if I liked that or not. So
we'll take a look. You guys can decide. I really like this too. This is very like gangster chic. But still, outlawy, still Wild Westy, like Wild West. I mean, we are gangsters, right? We're outlaws. That's what's up.
So straight out of Red Dead Redemption. I think some of the fans of that game will definitely. That.
Everyone I've shouted is like, "Is that the Red Dead font?" I'm like, "Yep, yep, it is." All right. So what do we think?
So, yeah.
I don't know. Well, I'll have to take a look at them side by side. We'll maybe put it to a vote on the Twitter sphere because the eyes are pretty cool. I don't know. So. Let me see something real quick too. I was about to accidentally quit the stream. Like, that would have been terrible. This is what I want to know. I want to let everyone see it in all of its majesty. So this is what you guys have to look forward to very soon in regards to Mindless Outlaws merch. Mage Grey Wolf says with eyes. So no cross 6 guns for Mindless Outlaws. Well, I mean, put in your request. Let me see if there's I'm sure there's gotta be like, oh my God, my package is on the way. Did you actually ship me something real this year? She can ship it to my address this time and not give up. Amazon just apparently gives up on delivering my packages now. Just like, no, they actively just returned one. They're like, I didn't try to deliver this. I just returned it. I'm like, why?
Yeah. When I was waiting for my keyboard and mouse, it was like, yeah, we'll tell you when we ship it. Yeah. We'll tell you when we ship it. And they're like, oh yeah, it's at your door. It's here.
Mine was like, we tried to deliver it, and I missed the phone call, which like now I'm fucking kicking myself for. Because like, we tried to deliver it, we'll try again. They haven't. It's been a week. They're just like, I guess we keep that. I'm like, no, you have to try again. Like, you can't just not try again, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna come here and get your fucking package? What are you gonna do? You're not gonna do nothing.
Like, I will go there if I must, but fucking tell me. I will go to your little carrier facility.
Yeah. Shut up and wait. We'll be there when it'll be there when it gets there.
That's the biggest goddamn cunts. All right, let's see if there's a Mad Libs online free. There totally is.
Gotta be.
There totally are.
Guys, gotta find that book. It belongs in a museum.
It does. We'll find them all. They're all around. They're all safe and preserved. All right. I'm just making sure we can do that. We'll be able to get to that. All right. Let me read a couple more of these super chats. Though we do have them. I'm just seeing a bunch roll in regarding Mad Libs. That Case 2 fan says, I miss movies like American Pie. Remember when Jason Biggs got in all those sticky situations because he couldn't stop yoinking? Genius. Not woke. Correct. Definitely a not woke movie.
Jason Biggs, it's the pie fucker.
Wacky fun.
You're going to be the pie.
Yes.
Dude, so there are Mad Libs apps. So we can just do that. There's a Mad Libs app. We can just get it. We can have the Mad Libs app on the phone, and then it still feels like cheating. I still feel like we should have paper tomes, but in the interim, while we're still finding all of our shit, at least we'll have a way to Mad Libs. All right, more super chats. Runs with Phantom says, "Hail, do we Mad Libs around here anymore?" Well, because of you and everyone else has been asking, yeah, we fucking do. Mary says, "Fuck you for fucking wrestling."
What is that? Is that like fucking wrestling or fucking wrestling?
Mary hates
Mary.
wrestling.
She hates wrestling.
She hates the wrestling.
Why?
Got no taste, Mary Mayhem.
Oh no. Flaming TP. Jeff, you have to sit down for this one. Or you don't have to. It says, turn your head towards, thank you, Flaming TP, for the super chat. Turn your head towards Jeff and laugh. If Jeff laughs too, we'll finally have Jessivas and Jeff Head. Yeah.
Make you laugh.
We got something going on here, Flaming TV. God, thank you so much for the super chat. Greg Kirby says, movie called Ass about a bare ass. Would you see it? Jeff, haven't we joked to just make a video or make a movie called Ass and it's just the entire thing is just my ass?
It's from the movie Idiocracy.
Oh yeah. Haven't we talked about just making that movie though?
Yeah, for your ass, yeah.
Like for my ass, like actually doing it in real life and be like, yeah, people would probably see it if it was my ass. So I saw that movie very high. Runs with Phantom says, controversial opinion. The fourth indie movie has major issues, but I actually like the general idea of the extraterrestrial meatbags.
Boo.
I don't like aliens in indie. It's not the right kind of.
Aliens are the least problem. Least of the movie's problems.
Yeah.
Fucking Mac. I'm a triple agent, Jonesy. What the fuck was that character about?
I do not enjoy that.
Yeah, like, who is this guy? It's like, oh, you guys remember this guy from the other films, don't you?
Yeah,
like,
a lot
what?
of berries.
Who the fuck is this?
Invented.
It didn't even have enough member berries because the actors didn't come back, and a lot of the Indiana Jones characters are dead.
Mm-hmm.
The women. Oh, Elsa Schneider will never come back. Thankfully,
Nope.
She died. Willie
Although-
Scott. Yeah, she went back to Montana.
I will say the scenery of like the first half of it, where they're in and around his college and stuff. I would say like that's probably the best part of that film, is it kind of does have the vibes of the other ones where he's in the classroom and it's he's trying to get away from the students and stuff. Like I would say like that part they got right, but the rest of it, like what the fuck? What is this? I can't believe like aliens, like religious voodoo and fucking crazy shit like that. Like I'm totally okay with.
I miss
Aliens.
Thuggy and all the crazier shit. I don't know. Indiana Jones has always gone up against religious or gone for religious stuff.
Yeah.
So it always works.
I
Yeah,
concur.
religious.
I concur.
Like ghosties melting people's faces off, I'm cool with that. But like giant ass fucking spaceships popping up out of the Amazon, like maybe not so much.
Between spaces.
Does not feel right to me.
I want to know everything.
Demi Moore's tapeworm. Thank you for the super chat. Demi's tired. Got to go back in the hole. Night. Well, good night, Demi Moore's tapeworm. I did see still in the chat a little bit there, so I don't know if you're still here or not. But good night, and thank you for the super chat. Andy McCallum, thank you for the super chat and supporting me across platforms. Where did it just go? It's gone. They will put Harrison Ford back into storage after making Indy 5, right next to the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, he
Big
belongs
smile.
to the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll stick him next to Walt Disney's head.
We'll freeze
Wow.
That sounds great, doesn't it, Jesse?
Sounds fun.
Harrison Ford.
They will let's see. Runs with Phantoms. Thank you so much for the super chat. If there's a Mad Libs tonight, I claim a noun. The freeze dried pussy from George Carlin's Dirtiest Skit.
Oh.
All right. So I need to like be able to use a pen anywhere. This pen right there. I don't know if it works or not, but we're gonna try. Yep. Freeze. What am I writing on? Oh, nothing. Cool. Freeze dried pussy.
We gotta write that in your hand and then go out tomorrow with a freeze dried pussy in your hand.
Tight. Phil Booty says, I don't go looking for woke. When it smacks you in the face, it's hard not to get angry and not see it, and it pulls me out of enjoying the movie. No, I hear that. I definitely hear that. That makes a lot of sense. Not discrediting your feelings on that whatsoever, because I think that is definitely a struggle a lot of us deal with. Of like, you get hit with that wokeness, and you're like, fuck this, and then it's like an uphill battle to get back into whatever. Like, it knocks you so far out. It's like it's just a shortcut way to just get you out of the movie. And then it's hard to get back in. So I hear that.
But if it's so goddamn blatant like that, like,
yeah,
chances are like the rest of it really hasn't been doing it for you to begin with. Like, it's probably going to be a shit movie to begin with. Like, the woke shit just like buries it even deeper.
Sometimes the worst is when you have like a supremely like out of place woke moment in an otherwise fine thing where it's like, why? Sometimes those ones I end up fixating on the longest, because you're like, if it wasn't for that retarded line that just kind of shifted the perspective in this whole fucking movie, I really would have enjoyed it, you know? And you're like, why do this thing?
Like, for me, the scene in, was it Endgame, where they all do like the female hero get together dealio, like, that didn't ruin the movie for me, but like, I love the rest of it, but like, that kind of popped me out of it. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that is like the kind of shit where it's like, just like, why? Like, why would they all be together at the same time? That's weird. You know? That
one didn't bother me as much because I felt like that was really reminiscent of like old girl power moments they used to do, which were like equally as sore thummy, but at the same time, we didn't like, you just rolled your eyes at it and moved on. You didn't get your panties in a wad and like freak out and let it ruin. Like, I legitimately talked to people who said like that single scene ruined the entire movie for them.
No.
And I'm like, that's a bit much.
It's the dumbest part of an overrated movie.
No, Captain Marvel showing about a fucking nowhere to save the Tony in the beginning is the dumbest part, probably.
I don't know.
Like, that's the most Deus Ex Machina part.
Mantis stepping up to fight, that chick can't do shit. Like, what is, like, that scene doesn't represent logic. It's like, all the women are here. Like, come on, you got your shit pushed into the other movies. All of a sudden, you're standing up to this dude. You can't do anything. Like, all the characters are just like,
yeah.
It's pretty acceptable, but
like Mage Gribble said the entire movie stopped for that female scene in Endgame. That's what I'm kind of saying. Like, it stopped, and it kind of like, it took me out of it for a second. It's like, whoa, like, why are we doing this? Yeah.
I agree that it's bad and that it's clunky and that it's awkward, but at the same time, like, I don't think it's the most unrealistic part of Endgame. You know, I just think it's a little ridiculous sometimes. I think there's valid criticisms of when things don't make sense, but then there's also like, yeah, it doesn't make sense, but like, neither does any of this entire fucking movie from a practical looking at it through the lens of our world and physics standpoint. Because it's a fantasy
time travel,
movie.
yeah. Like,
but if you can't look at a movie through its own logical lens, then it kind of kills the reasoning to even talk about the world.
I don't think there's anything like, every fight in the MCU has been so staged to the point where I don't think it kills the logic of the world to be like, and in this fight, all the women get together to have a moment. It's like, yeah, every other fight has been equally as staged and, you know, felt as scripted going through it. And we haven't complained because they've been good. It's like, yes, this one was bad. And I'm not fighting for or arguing that it wasn't bad, but I don't think it's as cripplingly world breaking or movie breaking or earth shattering.
No, not at all.
To me, that one really stuck out as an example of like, if this movie had come out 15 years ago, I think people would have mentioned it in passing as like, it was kind of cringy, but I don't think anyone would have harped on it or talked. I don't think you'd had fucking factions of people going and ruined the entire movie.
No, as it shouldn't. No.
We have factions of people like wanting to build it up as this like empowering thing too. It's like, it's this really stupid game of chess.
Yeah, no, the other side's equally as retarded. That's like one of those things where it's like, just because the side that pushes for it is retarded, it doesn't make the side that like freaks out and has a temper tantrum about it any less retarded. You know, it's like, put it in perspective. To me, there's a lot of wanting to give a pass of like, well, you really freaked out on like in an ugly, messed up way, but we're on the same side, so I'm going to make an excuse for you or give you a pass. Even though when we see the same behavior on the other side, we're like, I don't care if I agree with you or not. You're acting like an idiot. You know, and it's like, no, if you're acting like an idiot about it, you act like an idiot about it. Like, be logical, take it in stride, you know. hating it, the moment is one thing. It's a stupid moment. It's a terrible moment. But people wanted to be like, it ruined the movie. It's like, it was dumb. It was a dumb moment. And it's a dumb moment, but it has nothing to do with the plot of the movie in any way whatsoever. So to get so hung up on it seems like just a waste of energy to me.
No, because that's what ruins the scene, though, because it doesn't fit the plot. You're like if you watch a movie and all of a sudden it feels like the fourth wall break, but it's not meant to be, you're like, if you look around for a second, you're like,
So that moment for me, though, is like in Infinity War when Rocket goes and rubs the eyeball on, the eyeball that he apparently was keeping in his asshole and rubs it off and hands it to Thor. He just sticks it right in his face. To me, that was world-breaking comedy. That was you broke the rules of Thor's world and the comedy and the tone and tenor of that character for the sake of a joke that only works in the Guardians of the Galaxy world. To me, that was very jarring and like take you out of the tone in the way that apparently this moment was for a lot of people in Endgame, but it's so inconsequential to the plot. Like, yes, why do it? Why stop the movie to have this single joke that means nothing to the fucking plot? But it means nothing in the greater scheme of things. It means nothing to the plot. So I'm not going to use that as a major ding against an otherwise very good movie. Or maybe I should. Maybe I should retroactively use it as a bigger ding and use it as a bigger platform from which to loudly shout about why I hate Infinity War. Or don't hate it, but like why I have more problems with Infinity War than most people do. I think it's actually a very, very good movie, but I have a lot of problems with it. A lot of people seem to want to give a pass to and overlook. But it's really funny to me because it's like a lot of the same problems I have with Infinity War, other people had it with Endgame, and everyone's like, oh, those aren't nitpicky because those are woke problems, and we hate woke problems. And I'm like, all right, but my problems were the same level of nitpickiness or specific, but they're just not cool to hate on or to talk about because they're not wrapped up in the woke conversation.
I don't agree.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Freeze dried pussy is written down. Phil Booty, thank you for your. Oh, that's where on Matt Deckard's down yonder. Do. Thank you so much, Matt Deckard. He says, let's do a video with you showing Jeff how to fence. My 90s jacket would fit him. Really? Would it really? Then karaoke. I mean, I'm down if Jeff's down.
Possible. It's just got to be like after August.
Yeah.
Like, don't ask us anybody until the end of August.
Yeah. And then you had to do a heel turn and turn on the teacher, and then you two got to fight each other.
Yeah.
I wish Mary was here to hear the wrestling reference.
If only. She's wisely gone to bed. All right. So I've got a Mad Lib for us, guys. We're going to go where I won't be able to chat you guys ahead of time for it because it's the way this app works. But we do have, I won't tell you what the title is because but we do have a digital Mad Lib for tonight's game. Are you guys ready? Cody, a relative, please. Chad, if you guys want to just start throwing out random random words that you like, if it fits when we get to a chat suggestion, I'll use it.
Sleazy or drunk uncle.
Yes. Drunk uncle. Cool. Jeff, a person in the room, male.
Shit pancake.
Yeah. Shit pancake. Next. All right, chat. Oh, a noun. Freeze-dried pussy. Perfect. Freeze-dried pussy.
I hope this doesn't make sense. That's the worst part when it makes sense.
Right? Cody, an adjective, please.
That's like a person, place, or thing, right?
Descriptor. Adjective is a describes a person, place, or thing.
Rancid.
Oh, I dig it. Rancid. It's a nice one. Jeff, a school?
Thought. No,
Hogwarts.
I will put in the school of thought if you want.
yeah, the school of thought. I don't
Yeah,
like
that's
the
great.
thought enough.
The school
Of hard. Yeah, school of thought.
School of thought.
THOTS. That's how I want it.
What do you want?
No, I'm just joking. The real school of thought.
All right, chat. A verb ending in ing. Chat.
Jumboing. There you go. You can take jumbo and turn it into
Drunkling. Drunkling.
That sounds like what Uncle Jack did to Charlie, and that's wrong.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism is in fact a noun. Or no, yes, a noun. Verb ending in ing at this particular point in time. Chat.
Come on, chat. Let's give it. Come on.
Just like I said, feel free to just
Piddling.
piddling. There you go.
Piddling. Yeah.
Feel free to just continue shouting random suggestions into the void. It doesn't have to continue to be verbs, just like whatever kinds of words types that you enjoy. And like I said, if it fits the type of
Fornicating.
speech, it'll work.
Cobb salads.
But in about 5 seconds, we're accepting piddling, which is an excellent suggestion, old school Jeremy, and also the only suggestion. Thank you, old school Jeremy. And a plural noun from the Bassman.
What's that? Sorry. What's
Plural
that?
noun. So person, place, or thing, more than one of them.
Cobra chickens.
Corporate chickens?
Cobra chickens.
Cobra chickens?
Cobra chickens. It's Canadian for Canadian goose.
Oh. Good to know.
I feel like Kendo would know that.
Runs with Phantoms. Thank you for the super chat. I'm wrong about freeze-dried pussy. TB called me out and I looked it up. It's recycled or preserved pussy or Save a Pussy Foundation. Okay, so for the next noun, I'm just going to add in recycled pussy, preserved pussy, or Save a Pussy Foundation. Probably Save a Pussy Foundation because that just seems the funniest. I'm going to leave this up here so we don't remember. So we don't forget.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Like,
Yeah,
like
but
full-
type of game, please. That's a new one.
the game of death.
Game of death.
No, the game of life. Play the board game.
Okay. The game of life.
Loaf.
I like how we get a suggestion we've never gotten before, and you're like, I will pick the most popular board game ever.
No, oh, fine.
I mean, you know what? I'll keep it. Game of life is fine. You want me
Japanese game show.
to- Okay, perfect.
Since we watched that yesterday.
Even better. Nutcracker.
You know what made that better?
Huh.
Is it played Let's Fighting Love?
Or join to put an MXE specifically.
Yes.
Most extreme eliminations.
Not Takeshi's Castle.
Most extreme. I'm putting the whole damn thing.
Elimination challenge.
Fucking putting MXE challenge is too much fucking MXD shout out. I'll read it out correctly. All right. Do we have an? We don't have an adjective. Adjective from. I was hoping for a noun, but
Douche.
adjective. Women, not a noun. Parachuting could be a noun, describing the act of. I don't know. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious thing.
Aladouching.
Douching. Gowns, of course. Clocks. Excellent. Andy does love his chickens. He dresses them in dressing gowns so they won't be cold at night.
Any of them named Camilla?
No, but they're all named Uche. There's some of them are named Uche, especially when they're in dressing gowns. That's the whole thing.
I love it.
Might be getting Mr. H reviews on the channel soon, by the way.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, we are. He's replied to me on the Twitter sphere, so we're figuring out a possible time. Woo! All right. Any adjectives? Moist. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
EP. That's always a good one. Moisey. Moist. Plural noun. Cody, a plural noun.
You're gonna fill me in. What's that?
Same thing as last time. A noun, but a person, place, or thing, and more than one of them.
Man. Can you skip me for a second? Or
No.
is this is the last thing?
No, you can't. You're just not. I just don't allow skip.
I'm not allowed to skip. All right.
No, just like, shoot out whatever comes to your fucking mind. You can always, cheat and go to the chat. They've dropped a bunch of nouns.
Fingers,
around there.
hands, toes.
Vaginas.
Vaginas, apples.
Dolphins. Swarming. Uncle fuckers.
All right.
Missed Andy. Andy knows that song by heart. He was singing part of it earlier. That's fun.
Yeah, we'll go with Canadians. That works.
Canadians. Reasonable.
Stump me there, guys.
You really go back to capitalize it?
I did in honor of Cody. I know.
We don't deserve it. What are you talking about?
Same.
It's okay. We're sorry.
Bacon, you
We're
couldn't
sorry.
have another type of.
All right. Adjective for you.
Tightly. Is that right?
Tight. Maybe tight. Accept it. It's good.
Like a twiker.
All right. Do we get any adjectives rocking in the chat ever? Just moist. We do need another adjective. So if anyone would like to, you know.
Don't be.
Oh, Mindless Mad Libs always like the peak of my week online. Thank you, Runs with Phantoms. I fucking love it. I just got this out. I'm waiting for Save a Pussy Foundation. There's got to be another fucking dad in this puzzle. I mean, come on. It's just, it would be ridiculous. Crusted or Phantasmagoric. Ooh, Phantasmagoric. Thank you, Old School Jeremy. Phantasmagoric. I like it. It's just weird to say. All right, Cody, an animal.
A liger.
I'm surprised you didn't pick a bass.
Too obvious.
You are the Bassman. Jeff, you have an animal as well.
How about platypus?
I would have picked a mongoose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you should think you can do. Hi, Jane.
Noun. Here we go. Save a Pussy Foundation. Save Pussy Foundation. Mwah. I love you, Lando. You're cute. All right. Next chat. Well, I guess that was the chat one. Cody, an adjective. Describing. It's a describing word.
Oozing. Oozing.
Ooh, I like it. Oozing. Jeff, a noun.
How about vacuum?
Vacuum. All right, chat, an adjective. Shadzar is ready with noisy and woke. Anton's world of videos says growing. I'm going to take that one because it makes me think of dicks. Growing, like a grower, not a shower. All right, Cody, a noun. It's a person, place, and thing. Oh, I can take down this chat now, but why would I?
How about Emperor Palpatine?
I like it. Emperor. I'll take the gamble on the proper noun, since I can't scan the puzzle ahead of time. Oh my god! I've earned a badge. Completed your first story. Keep at it. Sweet! I guess we finished our first story. Tight. You guys ready for our first digital Mad Libs?
Oh boy.
There's a picture.
Letter of recommendation. That's what we wrote. We wrote a letter of recommendation.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I should have participated since I couldn't read the story on here. Damn, now I can participate in the future. That's okay. You guys did a great job. This is terrible.
Okay, let's hear it.
Oh, no.
Dear director, I would like to recommend my drunk uncle Shit Pancake for the job of assisted free-dried pussy
That makes sense, actually.
in your rancid camp. He has just graduated from the School of Thought and has a degree in piddling. He has experience teaching Cobra chickens how to play Most Extreme Elimination Challenge.
Yeah.
He is ambitious and moist. During school vacations, he used to work delivering for Canadians. Our neighborhood Canadian store. He is a loyal and tight person. He will make a very phantasmagoric counselor because he will work like a liger. He is as smart as a platypus. He is also as honest as the Save a Pussy Foundation is long. I promise you that this oozing vacuum will make a very growing counselor for your Emperor Palpatine.
I love it.
What the fuck? That like made no sense in the best possible way. I would like to share this story, please. Please share this full story somewhere. I don't know where, but just yes, allow access to my photos and then save this forever. Thank you. Save image. Yeah. Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Cody, helping to tell this wonderful story. Let's see if bitches have been listening and actually subbing to you. I should have run them harder on the subscribe train.
Oh, I don't think I've been checking either. Indeed.
Oh,
We got three. We got three guys. Yeah.
Well, there's definitely, I mean, conceivably, there is at least 5 more of you. There are 58 people watching, and Cody now has 53 subscribers. So there are at least 5 more of you who haven't subbed to Cody out there. Shadzar, I will share it on Twitter, probably. And there's Cody's channel. Please go sub to him. He is fucking awesome. He does awesome gaming videos. He's a whole. The cool thing about Cody is he has an entire program scheduled out on his channel, so you can catch different games on different days of the week, different topics on different days of the week. And you always know what you're signing up for, what you're tuning in for. So if you like certain games and not others, you know which day to show up, you know which day to be there. Just take even if you're not even sold yet, just click on that channel. Look how professionally laid out his YouTube channel is already. Look how professional his layout is over there. I got fucking boxes that I'm like still moving out of behind me. Yes, that is a stuffed horse that I used to sleep with before I had a Jeff to cuddle with. And this guy, look at this fucking setup here. So you know the guy's legit. You know he's putting in the time, putting in the effort, putting it in where it counts. So help him out, give him a sub, show him your support because
I really appreciate that, Jesse. Thank you.
He is the best and has done so much for me too. By the way, you're looking at the guy who's designed pretty much all of my, almost all of my merchandise, and has continued. I'm backlogged with designs I haven't even gotten a chance to set up yet because he's given me so many wonderful pieces. So show your love to Cody, guys. Jeff, anything you want to say to the lovely people of the chat?
Just keep watching World Class Bullshitters. We're going to be making more content finally. It's been hectic, but been doing everything with this comic, making sure it gets out as early as possible. So
shockingly enough, you're actually going to see more from us probably on our vacation.
Yeah.
Working vacation.
Where are you guys going?
The East Coast.
I know it sounds stupid, but very like relaxing to know we'll have that.
It's kind of it's like there's a comfort in it. Like, we're still gonna be doing our
work.
work.
Get back to it, but we're just so busy here. It's not like we like.
Yeah.
If you bastards got enough palm trees and shit in your life, you can come back and deal with the crappy stuff for a little while, you know.
The humidity, really, that's what I'm dreading the most. The fucking humidity.
Mosquitoes, ticks, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Oh God, I forgot about bugs. Do you like how non-buggy it is out here?
I hate bugs. I used to not eat outside because of bugs or humidity.
Now you can eat outside everywhere here because of bugs, because of no bugs and lack of humidity. So that fucking bee that I'm finally healing from the sting from, but Lando ate the bee like a good boy. Good Lando. All right, so thank you guys for checking us out. Thank you. Hopefully you guys are doing what I said and subbed to. Thank you, Anton's World of Video went over and subbed to you. So thank you. Andy's already subbed. Of course you are. You're the best, Andy. Thank you guys all. Please go check me out on Live It too. Let me drop that link one more time. That's where I'm over there much of the time. I was exercising my storytelling muscles again tonight. I know Cody can tell you if I was funny or not. Or
never.
In any regard. He hates me. He just watches me to neg on me. It's great. So check me out on Live It though. I'm playing music. I'm chatting you up, ranting, etc. Lounging out on our day bed, etc. Thank you guys all for being here. And until the next time, don't forget, as the French would say, "No goblin." That's another design you'll be seeing from Cody. We could be seeing on a shirt one of these days. And God Empress.